All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Reinventing the Tattoo community. This is by Guy Aitchison, and it's a great place for tattooers, apprentices, and collectors who are encouraged to join live events, share, inspire, and create art and tattoos together every day. You can find us at community.reinventingthetattoo.com or in the App Store. All you have to do is search for Reinventing the Tattoo, and there you'll find us. Our goal isn't to keep you addicted to your phone, but it's to easily access important information, inspiration, and awesome conversations to put on in the background while you work. You are watching the Tattoo Collecting Podcast today. This is episode 32. We're really excited to get this thing rolling. We do have a couple of shout outs to do before we get started today. We want to start off with Inkjet Stencils. They are helping us bring this community to you for free. And Donna at Inkjet Stencils is very passionate. She's got a great product. If you would like to get a sample of your stencil, all you have to do is go into the app under Inkjet Stencils sponsorship tab, and you can actually upload your image and she will send you your stencil. Also, we have Raw Pigments. We're very happy to sponsor, that they sponsor us. They're an ink company that taps directly into the source for your pigments. They have a wide range of acrylic-free colors, washes, opaques, pretty much everything you need. You can find them at rawpigments.co. We also want to shout out Jesse Smith at his legendary Loose Screw Tattoo in Richmond, Virginia, place that I was actually born. A beautiful city. It's just tons of art and a great place to be if you'd like to work in a busy shop as a resident or a guest artist. Black and gray, color, all sorts of stuff with walk-ins and tons of appointments at a high traffic shop. Jesse is hiring, so go to loosescrewtattoo.com to inquire about that. We also want to shout out our affiliates, Jake at Fireside Tattoo Network. Jake actually has a Reinventing drawing group on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. You can wake and bake or wait and get your coffee and draw with them. So that's happening every Monday. We also want to shout out the Apprenticeship Diaries and every eco-friendly tattoo supplies.com. All right, Fawn, Jordan, how you guys feeling this morning?
Feeling great. Yeah.
Happy to see you guys here.
Yeah. Thank you, Lauren. And welcome everybody. This is the Tattoo Collecting Podcast with
welcome. Today we've got our buddy Adam with us.
Hi, everybody.
Adam Rogers.
Yep.
A-Raj.
Yeah.
Everybody calls him. Do you prefer A-Raj?
You can call me whatever.
Don't
call me an asshole.
Whatever. So Adam is in the process of collecting a leg sleeve from Adam France.
Yep.
And also a leg sleeve on the other leg from Derb Morrison.
Yep.
So he's gotten worked on by both of them just within the last couple of weeks. So we're going to talk to him about his tattoo collection. We're going to talk to him about his art collection. We're probably going to jump down the rabbit hole and talk about like festivals, like music festivals and things like that. So it should be a super fun day.
And as always, we're going to be smoking plenty of blunts.
Oh,
so please
I got one of these.
Roll up some weed with
one
us.
Of these right here.
Some materials. It may or may not be marijuana.
Materials.
But we do know that it's material and we're going to smoke it.
I won't tell anybody. It's fun.
Thanks, Adam. Want to make you smoke it. Make sure you're not a cop.
I mean,
you might be. You kind of look like a cop.
If you're a cop, you have to tell us you're a cop, right?
No,
that's not true.
That is not true at all. That's a misconception. But I don't know. I kind of feel bad for cops lately. I know you shouldn't. Everybody hates cops right now, but it's like somebody's got to be a cop, and nobody wants to be a cop anymore. Like it's just
That's fair.
All cops aren't bad. It only takes a couple sour grapes in the bunch to make you not want to eat a grape for a while.
Now everybody's talking like get rid of all. It's like, well,
no, we need police.
You just
be nice, be people, be human, be humane.
Yeah.
Remember that you're talking to somebody's like son or daughter or mother or father or like potentially a person just like you. Like
I don't know. It's such a weird time where I'm like in my own bubble where I don't even fuck with anybody, and then I just see all this negativity everywhere, and it's like, what's going on, people?
I just feel like treat everyone with positivity, and you're bound to get a positive reaction. So if you just do that in general and treat a police officer like they're an actual human, you might get that back for sure. I think there's definitely some bad apples out there. We got some bad apples doing some bad things. Doesn't mean everyone's that way, and we do need police officers. We definitely do, because there's some bad fucking people. Just treat people with respect, and you're bound to get respect. And if you don't get respect back, get the fuck out of there quick, because you don't know where that shit's going. And police officers might hurt you, and I don't want to be around when that shit happens.
Or they might think their taser's a gun.
Exactly.
Such a
I don't want to be caught in a situation, so I'm going to avoid them completely. I think there are police officers that, hey, you've done some shit, and every day you go to work, and you might die. And the person you pull over might just want to kill you, because there's a lot of people that just want to kill police officers right now because they're just mad at them for everything. And I'm not picking any one side right now, but I do think that that is a reality that they're having to deal with, and it's only going to exacerbate the problem if they're more afraid to go to work.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's at right now. It's a thankless job at this point, and everybody's like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird.
But it does kind of got to feel bad.
My heart does go out to the good
You gotta
officers.
see it a little bit.
Most officers are good officers.
Yeah, I mean,
My heart goes out to
I
them.
feel like the biggest issue is social media. I try to avoid it as much as possible. You just get on there. It's like, fuck all cops. Like, get rid of all cops.
Yeah, I stopped reading the articles that I know I'm going to get really heated about. I'll let
It's
someone
like-
else be mad about those things, and I'm going to focus on me. I don't care if it's selfish or not. I like focusing on me.
Give me some mushroom memes. Give me some tattoo,
Right.
posts. But yeah, I
Follow my Facebook groups, and I'll read about those. And they're not about a bunch of shit that's going to upset me all day. Even though they're relevant issues, I understand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to like.
What am I going to do?
avoid it.
I'm not
Yeah.
about to go out there and fucking do anything about it, to be honest. Except for maybe talk on the podcast about it.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
spread some awareness about what our opinions of things are.
My brother always had a saying. He's like, when you get outraged about social issues or social change, he's like, your life's pretty good at that point. You know, this is like,
when you've got the space to be
when
outraged.
when you have the space in your head to be outraged about that stuff, you probably made it a little bit. You know, it's I don't know. So there's so many cool things to do. There's so many hobbies to learn to get caught up on that echo chamber.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to work on that lately. Just
Yeah.
try to like
Yeah.
avoid that and just I don't
Yeah.
know, learn new shit. And fucking,
Right.
it's,
Do what's going to matter the most in my life without hurting other people and things.
Yep.
It's
we definitely
easier.
we need activism in some ways.
It's easier said than done,
I know what
you
I'm
know?
gonna I know what I'm gonna affect. And I like to I don't know. Virtue signaling is really annoying as well. And I try not to be a virtue signaler, or in like, when I do something that I think is right, I don't give a shit to go on Facebook and post it. I don't give a shit to go and tell people about this cool thing I'm doing. Or even if I was, to go and protest and all that, I'm not going to be the one who's going to sit there with my camera the entire time and sit and get video of myself and,
Hey, I'm on here.
Look, I'm here. I
I'm
did
front
this
line,
thing.
baby.
And now for the next 2 months or the next year, all you're talking about is when you were doing this activism thing.
So
And
here's
now,
a funny
now
thing.
you're an activist and all that. But
Have you thought about the people who like go
I am in
to
full support
demonstrations?
of activism, just to let everyone know. But at the same time, there's a reality to these things where the virtue signaling is
There's a
it's
cause and
is a
effect to
real
everything.
thing.
There's
People
there's
do
two
these
stories.
things to look good a lot of times, and
Yeah.
not as much to actually, fight for the cause. They're just like, yeah, I'll be another number, yeah, and I'll be there.
So-
But also, like, look at me.
So
with
the
some
funny thing that I'm
followers.
tickled at right now is the way that people will go to demonstrations and they'll go and protest, which
It's
we
your
should
right.
do
It's
as
your-
Americans.
yeah.
But then they feel like they have been singled out when they become arrested. And like when you go to a demonstration, you go there because you're fighting for something you believe strongly in. And you go to this demonstration knowing full well that you could become arrested. Like
Right.
that's part of it. So when you go to a demonstration, you're like, well, I can't believe they arrested and pepper sprayed me. It's like, well, you went to a demonstration where you're
It's like the lady that busted in the Capitol. Like they shot her. It's like, yeah, dude, you fucking busted.
yes, you busted into a government building.
The guy,
it's
like, pointed
most
the gun at you,
important
like-
government building.
I don't know. It's,
What did you expect? I literally, to be completely honest, I know we're going off different subjects on the tattoo stuff right now.
But
But the
we'll circle
Capitol
back around.
riots are crazy to me, because my entire life I always thought if you come anywhere near the Capitol that there's going to be like fucking
Secret Service.
T-3000 Terminator bots and fucking
Well, you're a
God-
hippie, man. There are
God-
bots looking for you.
goddamn
You're not.
fucking
You're not allowed near
turrets.
there. But
turrets that just take people out from a mile away, and laser beams in space that'll just when people come near the Capitol. But instead, a bunch of fucking rednecks were able to walk
that
right
building-
the fuck up.
that building was protected. If they wanted to open fire, they could have opened fire on those people. I'm glad they didn't.
I'm
you
glad
know?
they didn't, but
it's
it's just
all.
funny the time that we're in.
It's. I'm not even mad at those people. Those people did what they thought was right, and it's like, yeah, you're fucking idiots. But it's like that's their right as Americans to go. And I'm sure if I was there, caught
We
up
do
in
have
that,
the
a
right
lot of
to
people,
make bad decisions.
a lot of people got swept up. But it's like if you watch some of those videos, the officers opened those gates, people just walked right in.
Mhm.
Now the people that were going like, "Where's Nancy Pelosi? Where's," yeah, I can see why the FBI rounded you up and shit. But a lot of those people are just fucking idiots that were
Yeah.
part of a team. You know, my God can beat your God up.
It
My
just-
sports team's better than your sports
It's
team.
just it's the QAnon thing that just baffles
You know?
that just baffles me. You know, so many of those things are driven from places that come from made up places.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation.
Well, they got
the political conversations aren't too much ones we want to get in too much here, but
Oh yeah, my bad, guys.
no, no, you're good. I'm just I don't want to go too far on myself any one way or the other. I just want to be non-biased on the situation.
I'm a weird socialist guy, so I'm really part of no political affiliations. You know,
All right,
I get thrown in the
guy.
I get thrown in the left, but
You saying you're a socialist?
yeah,
You one
guys
of them
are all socialists.
socializers?
you guys are socialists too. It's
What, you
cool
some
though.
kind of
you know?
KGB spy?
Yeah,
What you from China?
I wish.
Was you China man? You from?
You mean to
You
tell
say-
me that you believe people are equal?
I hope
You
so.
like
You
to
mean
think
to tell
people
me
should be equal? That's something you believe in?
you're telling me that's what you believe?
I think that if that guy works at McDonald's, you know, he's no different than that guy that was a CEO lawyer.
Oh, well, that's just not how the world works.
Well, not
They
America.
can't-
It's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
capitalism.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
but it's not really. You know, we'll bail out our buddies. But no.
All right, let's flip the
run
script.
away.
Let's
Sorry.
flip the script. Let's talk about how did you start collecting art and tattoos? What's Adam's story?
Well, I've always liked art. I've always sucked at doing art, so that's kind of been my issue. Like, I don't know. I have it in my head. I love it, but I could never put pen to paper. So I've always respected what you guys do, and I've always kind of searched it out. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of different styles I like. I definitely like that droopy psychedelic type. There's a lot of artists like Ben Kramer out of like the West Coast I really love. And then the tattoos kind of came later. We were kind of talking about this earlier. Adam France.
We are the unofficial Adam fans fan club. I actually think we could probably be the official Adam France fan club by now.
I thought it was official.
I keep calling us the unofficial, but we should just call ourselves the official Adam France fan club.
I'll join.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. We've
Yeah.
gone from unofficial
The
to
OAFC.
official today.
Do you
We'll
have-
let Adam
we
know.
are now the OAFC.
Do you have to own an original? Do you have to like have a tattoo? You have to have both. Like,
No,
you have
you
to
just
be-
gotta like talking
have-
about his wizardry.
I think
He's-
I think it is. You need to be tattooed. You at least have to have an Adam tattoo. I would say we usually get on the topics with people that have Adam tattoos. I feel
Mhm.
like that's got to put you in the club.
well, see,
there
there
has to be an initiation of some sort.
the longest time I was afraid to get a tattoo from the guy, so I just bought originals from him. Like I was.
How many original Adam pieces do you have? And you've probably got a bunch of prints and stuff too,
I
right?
probably have like 5 originals, I'd say at this point.
Good
different
Lord.
sizes, different.
Just give them
And
all
I'm
your money.
actually about to have a 6th. Him and Kyle Deneen are doing
Mhm.
a project right now, and they kind of talked me into buying that, so it's no problem. No
Talked
problem.
you into buying it.
Nice.
Well, yeah, it's it's
It
good.
was an easy persuasion.
It's twisting my arm a little bit. It is no problem. But so Adam and my cousin Evan have been friends for a long time through the music scene, and my cousin Evan does beautiful jewelry. If anybody needs jewelry, hit
Foo
him.
Factor Designs.
Foo
if you
Factor
happen to be
Designs.
on Instagram.
He's the man. And they were doing the Lost Lands Music Festival. It was the first year Lost Lands.
Hold on, a music festival.
Music festival.
This sounds like a thing that used to
And-
happen in the past. but-
Yeah,
I remember music
I
festivals.
remember music festivals.
For,
And it's in
for
the-
listeners who don't know or may have never been,
in the
can
before.
you tell us
in
what a
the
music
before
festival
times.
is?
It was back in the day when people would come together, different backgrounds, different nations, different colors, and we'd get fucked up in a field and listen to music together and have
Stand
fun.
next to each other.
Yeah, no, and it was a good time. Yeah, and,
One
yeah.
of the only places that people wore masks ahead of time.
Ah,
I mean, they were different
the-
masks,
the,
but
the cool kids, not,
cool kids.
not- I'm a Pashmina guy. I'm not that cool. No.
Right.
Um,
We scarfed our face. We didn't wear no fucking mask. We wore scarves over our face. We pashminaed. I know I was a pashmina guy too.
I
so-
love pashmina. I
so
can't-
could, so I
they're
could-
so comfortable,
say
man. They
that.
keep you cool. You can always wipe down.
right.
You
I
know,
always
it's
cover
a
my
little
face, put my
safety
sunglasses
blanket.
on. Cool as fuck.
I'm for the
a
pashminas.
portable hug.
It really is a portable hug.
In a
I'm-
blanket and it's everything.
Yeah. So there's the Lost Lands. It was going to be the first year Lost Lands was coming to town. It's like I liked Zed's Dead, this big artist.
Yo-
From,
oh,
grew
yeah,
up from Canada.
familiar.
I'm not really crazy about Excision, but it's like it's in the backyard. Let's go. I'll help these guys out. And that's when I met Adam. And it was like, damn, bro, look at your fucking art. This is awesome. It had a very H.R. Giger, colorful and like H.P. Lovecraft,
Right,
and just very
mapped out.
twisted, and all of his frames were like custom made. And then he started showing me his tattoos. So we really hit it off on the car ride just down there and setting up and everything. And,
Nice.
I was there initially supposed to help my cousin sell jewelry, and I don't know shit about jewelry. It's like, what does this stone do? What does this do? And it's like, I don't know, but it's like, this is a beautiful acrylic piece right here. It's got this beautiful biomech, organic flow, and then, robots fighting each other in an apocalyptic landscape. So I could get behind his shit, and get excited about it and sell it. So we hit it off, and, same taste in
Fuck yeah.
music. Bass Nectar fans, RIP, sadly. Fucking,
Yeah,
it's just
R.I.P. Bass Nectar.
It's a shame all around.
He's not
Heartbreak.
dead, but we
he's-
won't get into that
he's
discussion
dead in our-
right
he's
now.
dead in our
Maybe
hearts
later
right
on
now,
we will.
but-
He's dead in our hearts.
I don't know if you know, but new things have come about in the past week.
New
Yeah,
things
it's
have come
pretty.
about.
Now
we
he's
talked
done.
about it in depth at the shop.
It's over. It's over.
It's
yeah.
over. It's been over, but it's like now it's just like,
and now it's hard to
reaffirmed.
even listen to the music because of how bad it was.
Well, all the music's about empathy and love, and it's just like, where the fuck is the empathy and love at, dude?
Right.
It's
It's
just
kind of
fucking-
surreal listening to it, or what's the word of paradoxical, or
Yeah, it's just he's
like-
a big fat phony at this point. I don't know. But
Right.
the good times and the memories and the family and the friends, you can't get rid of
discredit-
that shit,
discredit that, and you can't
And you can't discredit the man
He
himself
brought-
too for the music and what he's done to the scene and the art and
Mhm.
just allowing people
He
to like
brought a
have
lot
a
of other
voice.
like-minded people
And s-
together.
And so many people didn't like him before his fall, and they're kind of using this as a chance to be like, "Well, I told you so. This guy sucked." And it's like, dude, you guys didn't fucking know. Like, quit shitting on everybody else's, grief right now. It's like, this is hard
Yeah.
enough for a
That's
lot of
part of
fucking
that cancel
people.
culture thing where people
Yeah.
just love because they already didn't like them. They're like,
They
I
did-
knew this.
I
They're like,
knew
I
this.
knew
Fuck.
it the entire. I
It's like,
knew
you
there
didn't
was
know
something
shit.
off about it.
And
That's called virtue signaling because you're an asshole.
and then
And you should just keep your mouth shut when it comes to things, and not you.
no,
But, like,
no,
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying-
I
saying
should too.
I'm
lot
not
of times
saying that
too,
to you
man.
at all.
No.
I'm just saying other people when it comes to like just trying to be a part of the cancel culture thing.
If you
It's like
can't
unless
say
you don't.
anything nice,
It's like unless you don't.
don't
you,
say anything
you
at
actually
all.
None of
know
us
with the
can, though. At the
information.
end of the day, all of us can be canceled for something we've done or said at the time.
Right.
At some point over, like, it's just
It's where we're
that's-
at now.
It's
But- and
it's how you handle it
everyone's
now.
got to
and
be
it's like,
just accept it. It's kind of like you go to like India or something like that where social justice. Like right on the street, they'll beat you. Do something wrong, they'll beat you on the street. Like that.
smack you with a shoe.
Now,
but-
at least there's no way around it because of exposure. Everyone gets exposed for everything, and we all accept it because we all get on our Facebook every day. You got to accept, and most people, that's their ultimate urge is just to have everybody see them.
well,
So you can only expect if you do something wrong, everyone's going to see something. And for everyone who loves anything about anything, there's someone that hates that same exact thing. So everything you do that you think's awesome or everything you get love for, there's going to be equal amount somewhere of people that dislike that and are going to want to bring you down for no reason
yeah,
or for a
well,
reason.
but-
But when you do something wrong, that's going to just
I think that's a big part of the
So
ego,
you
though,
gotta
is
watch-
learning to
watch it.
let go. Too many people want to fit in or be like, well, that everybody seems to like that. I like that too. And there's a lot of people should just go for what they like.
Mhm.
You see it in the art community too a lot. There's like a
Mhm.
lot of pins and stuff. It's like, it's not my favorite. And then somebody's paying $1,000 for it. Now everybody's looking at that said pin
just
dip.
because it's a sought after.
Now
pin
it's
by that
sought after.
artist.
Now let me drop $1,000 to be part of that. Cool. And then at the end of the day, do you really enjoy that? Do you really love that? It's like, I don't think those people are fucking happy. It's
Yeah.
just like, get what you like, get what you go after your. And
I
it's-
feel you on that one. It's like the difference between, I don't know, like with the glass that I collect, for instance. Like I like buying a one-off piece from the artist.
It's
Like I
unique.
love getting like, oh, this is a new experimental thing that you just tried, and this is the very first one. Like I need to have that, knowing full well they're gonna get better at that trick, but like that spark, that like it makes it more unique and more individual than any of the ones that come after it.
It's
So
one
like
of a kind.
if I'm
you know?
dropping $1,000 on a piece of art, it's going to be something tangible that's mine. It's not going to be a pin
It's
that
one of 10,
100 people have.
one of 20, but it's
Mhm.
like, and people will spend more money on that said design than the actual
Mhm.
original. And it's like, it's all aftermarket hype. It's all people inflating their own egos. And
Right.
it's like, that's my biggest struggle in life is to destroy the ego.
You look
and
at
it's-
somebody and they've got an $8,000 ball cap
Yeah, they got a
on.
hat and they're posting it up on Facebook. Like, look at me, I'm balling, yo. And it's like, do you even fucking like that shit? Like, no, you're just looking for that instant gratification.
Mhm.
Like people want to be. I don't know. It's
No, I feel it. I feel
And
it.
I want to
Like status and hype rather than actual love of the art.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking about this earlier at breakfast. It's like I want a one of one piece. I don't want that, number 4 from McDonald's.
Like the difference from between flash art and like a custom.
Yeah, I want to go to an
tattoo.
artist that I've followed on Instagram for a while, and I know they have a generalized style, and give them an idea, and then just kind of
Mhm.
let them go. That's at least with Derb over here. With Adam, I just kind of, like I said, we were friends, and he was just like, dude. I think it was right after his wedding. We were just hanging out in a hammock. He's like, bro, you're hanging out with us. When the fuck are you getting a tattoo? I was like, probably never, bro. He's like, dude, I got you.
No, you're getting a tattoo.
And it's like, I think it might have been the mushrooms. I don't know. So he started with my knee, and we kind of worked our way down to the foot, and now we're kind of back up behind the knee. We're gonna work our way up into the back, and
You're gonna keep going with it?
unless you and Derb want to
Nice.
do that beautiful Japanese piece you were talking about the other day.
I
fucking,
mean, I
like-
would love to do a collaborative tattoo with Derb. We've done a few collaborative paintings.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think Derb and I would work really well collaboratively together.
because
So if you're serious, I'm down. I
I'm
think Derb would be
always
down.
serious for an artist that's passionate about a project that's willing to fucking do it, and I can get behind that. No problem.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. If
it's
you're
just,
serious, I'd
um,
totally be down to collab with Derb on you.
It was kind of weird because we were talking about the Edo period back in the day when you had a tattoo artist. You had one tattoo artist your entire life, and he would do your piece, and that would be his story. And I kind of stay with. So I almost thought I would do that with Adam, and then I kind of feel bad that I went away with that. But I feel like part of it's fun in different pieces from different
Mhm.
that you like, and then who knows? You
Mhm.
know, it's kind of a
So
it's a
with
fun journey.
with my bodysuit, when all is said and done, I want it to be a large cohesive piece. I want it to
You want it to
look-
flow,
I
but
want it to look as if maybe one artist could have done the whole thing. So like the artists who have worked on me, most of them have worked together, which is actually really nice. So everything
They kind of
flows
have that
like
collective mind of
Yeah.
like, let me do this.
Yeah,
like this.
like
Which
Guy
I-
and Russ have worked together. Guy has worked with Ty and Adam. So
Yeah.
like I didn't think there was anybody who could tie in my chest to my back the same way that Guy could. I just knew because he knew all 3 of those other artists' imaginations, at least a little bit. Like he'd worked with them, he'd,
Yeah.
been
Mhm.
around their flow. I just felt like it would just be the magic, like perfect, like cherry on top.
That's
to,
a
like,
status piece right
complete-
there.
to
I
com-
feel- you know,
complete, like with
just-
my armpits and like connect everything. But like, I've got a lot of Adam work. Like sometimes it's crazy to think
I
about
just
how
trust
much
him
real
so
estate.
much,
Yeah,
man. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't even.
I'd
He
let him
just
do
pulls that
anything on
Sharpie
me.
out. It's actually my leg's kind of a
He's a
Rick and,
Sharpie wizard.
is a Rick and Morty joke actually.
What is it? What'd you say?
My leg is actually kind of a Rick and Morty joke.
How so?
Well, I knew I wanted him to mix in the bioorganic with the mech, so I wanted a little bit of that alien flow with the robotic. And then he did the stars in there, so it's like the universe powers my leg, bitch. You know, fucking that's kind of the joke behind it when he was drawing it on there. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's
That's
fun.
awesome.
It's a fun flow to it.
I like it.
I don't
It's
know.
funny how like these weird little abstract ideas, like the story's still there. It might not be there for like other people to look at and see what's going on, but you know the story and you know where it
Yeah,
came
like
from.
it's I have this beautiful universe in my leg just hidden behind this beautiful biomech piece, and you kind of look at it and you're like, maybe that feeds.
Is it
these,
the inner space or is it the outer space?
who knows? What's the
More
old
questions than answers.
What's the old Men in Black where the universe is in the marble and
When
we're in the
are
marble?
you people
It goes
going
in
to
and
out.
understand that
Yeah.
just
Keep
because
going.
something is incredibly small doesn't mean it's not incredibly important?
You got to imagine, what is it like standing on an electron? If you're hanging out near an electron, the distance
It's
from
probably
it,
hot.
the
It's
di-
probably really fucking hot.
Right.
No, I'm just no.
full
Could
of
you
full of
imagine
electric,
surfing,
full of
surfing on
ele-
an electron?
probably just like plasma like this everywhere, just electric ionized gas. But you imagine from the distance between like your neutron and your proton, it's going to be pretty far away. It's like it would be if you're that small. I guess it depends on just how small you are to that little sphere guy. But from here, it'd be like from here to the moon. So like.
I don't know.
Think
I
about
love
that
I
space.
just love
if you're
alien-
if you're that small, like in space, so when you never know, space goes back into space, and then you find an object in that space, then you can go within that object, so you can go into those neutrons and protons. Then you got your neutrinos and your quarks and your your Yao Guai manifolds.
I think it would tear our body apart trying to go like that, but it would be cool to observe it. Like,
Tear my
So it
body
would tear our
apart.
body apart. But what if
Tear
we
that
could
shit
mentally
apart,
travel? What if
universe.
we could just move our brain to that like teeny tiny
it's
scale?
called DMT, and it's no, just
Absolutely,
No.
absolutely. I am not disagreeing.
yeah. I mean,
DMT definitely is a peek into that. That's for sure.
but going back to the Adam tattoos, I kind of feel like all of them tie in. At least all the biomech pieces kind of tie into like a series or a theme he's got, like this alien race kind of exodus to Earth. You know, where we're all like your arm, especially. You know, like you were once this, and you've kind of had to become a human, and it's kind of synced in, but it's still it moves every twitch of your muscle, it's one with your body. And I really love that fucking style where it's a lot of tattoos just sit on the skin and you can tell it looks like a sticker.
Mhm.
and it's
Right,
like,
that's like this area like is my forearm now. As
You
opposed
know-
to something being in my forearm is like
every
this.
time you flex now,
it's not on there
It
as much
flexes
as,
with
like,
you,
it
and
is
it's powerful. It becomes like you're this demigod hiding here on Earth and shit. And I feel like they all tie in. Like my
Jordan, I don't think you're doing a very good job hiding.
hiding.
Yeah, you stand out.
How?
If you're a demigod that's supposed to be hiding.
Well, it's that other hand. He's got that powerful spell on his hand.
That's
there.
what
and
it
just-
is. That's what it
The
is.
Inuyasha wind tunnel. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what it is. But I always like to think when I watch that. I'm like, that's me.
It could be whatever you want.
It
That's
looks.
like-
I mean, it looks like shit. I mean, look at that. Let me gotta come back.
honestly, people ask me all the time, like, what the fuck is your tattoo? And
Yeah.
most of the time, I don't want to explain to them. If you don't know, you don't know. And I'll just be like, it's whatever you want it to be.
I
And
love artwork that poses
you know.
more questions than answers. Like when you look at something and you're just like, how? Why?
Why
would
would you?
ya?
You know. And like we were talking about it earlier, man. Some person might look at this electric ball and be like, this is fucking stupid. Now this is the coolest thing ever. So we all have different things. So I'm not going to judge somebody by their fucking tattoo. I will,
Right? And
but
they're
I'm
an
not going to
asshole.
judge them. They might love it, you know. So I don't want to be a fucking asshole about it. Like they might have a game of tic-tac-toe on their forearm and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
just
Just
scratched out. Like,
everything you love, someone hates, and everything someone hates, someone loves. You know,
so that's kind of the fun journey of tattooing, you know. But I do know that I want unique pieces from unique people that are passionate about what they do, and that's just I'll take the pain. I don't fucking care.
right. And you always end up picking people that you relate to, and that like their style's more like up your alley of creative taste and stuff. So there's an art in how you go about choosing that as well. So you end up with the art that you truly belong with
And-
when you
waited.
when
I
you go
was-
about picking out artists like that, as opposed to going to the artist that's there, going to the artist that you've like sought out for whatever connection was there. Yeah, whether it's like, oh shit, I'm really good friends with this person, or like your art in general is just like I gravitate towards that whole style.
And that was Derb, really. It's because Derb's just a fucking legend. And I met Derb at Adam's wedding. and
Hold
we
on.
Kind of
Derb who?
Derb Morrison.
Oh,
It's just,
okay. That guy.
Just a super nice, friendly guy who kick your ass with jiu-jitsu and do an awesome rat
Right.
tattoo.
Super
right
nice
after.
guy who could also kill you.
Has he
Yeah.
yoked you up yet?
What's up?
Has he yoked you up yet? I don't know how many times I'll be like standing next to him and he'll be like talking to somebody about a jujitsu move.
Here,
And before I
Fawn,
even
come here,
know
let
it,
me just,
I'll have like my hood wrapped around my
Like-
throat. My left foot will be in my right back pocket. And then I'll be like rolled up in a ball and he'll be like,
Right
oh,
back
can you
pocket.
breathe okay?
No, but my cousin does jiu-jitsu too, so I'm kind of used to that whole like.
So
I'm
you've
interested
been
by it.
yoked up?
It is an awesome martial art, and it's not really just like. Yeah, you got to respect it. It's more like a dictionary. These guys can kill you 100 fucking ways, not just like I'm gonna knock you out, and that's.
It'll be
Right.
very
It's like-
precise.
and
it's
it's
very
like-
precise,
deliberate.
and it's like
math.
it's like-
math. It's like my hand's gonna go here.
Well, this
It's gonna go
situation is
here,
different.
This hand's
This
gonna go
situation,
here. That's gonna go like
you know.
here. I'm gonna lock up like that, and then my legs are gonna do fucking pretzel around you in a weird way.
I'm
Oh,
not one
hold
to
on, I won't. Fawn, come here.
I'm not one to fight anyway. Chances are, if you're trying to rob, I'm gonna give you my fucking wall and be like, please don't fucking kill me. This is fucking money. It's material. But those guys have to walk around with a certain just like calm and zen all the time, just no fear. I respect that. I respect that. And there's like, but I think
I feel like I walk around like that, but I feel like it's because I have this crazy faith. Like, oh no,
well, you're a witch. You'll
universe
fucking
has
just
got
put a
me.
spell on somebody if they
Universe has
fuck with
got
you.
me.
You know. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of, if it's my day to die, it's my day to die.
my
You
car-
know, it's fucking, I'm not going to worry about the little shit. If
My
somebody
karma's
wants to,
good. My karma's
Yeah.
good.
I'd
Got
like
a
to-
good,
I'm
a
not the
good
one.
compass that's
Today's
not going to
not the
put you
day.
into the bad areas where the bad things are going to happen.
that is helpful. Some people don't have that.
I mean,
I feel like mine's pretty sharp though. My like trouble indicator, like, oh, I'm
Right.
walking the
like
wrong
just
direction.
in general. Doesn't
I
I don't
should
just
go
mean
this
like
way.
area in town or necessarily, or like just like literally in general, like your spiritual, like whew, like don't go that direction because
Don't do
that's gonna
that.
be a bad thing. Let's
I think
not
mine's
trouble.
let's
the
not give
opposite.
that any energy.
I think
Let's go.
I think
this other
mine's the
way.
opposite, and I'm working on destroying that. My life, I've always been too fucking cautious. Like, we're having fun, we're running down the hill. I'm like, well, let's not run down the hill. We might break our arm, you
Right.
know.
That's
but
fair.
I'm trying to get to that point where it's like, fuck it,
Now
let's,
you're like,
let's
you know
try
what?
new
Let's not
things,
run.
dude. I'm not
Let's
gonna.
roll.
I'll try it at least once.
You
know,
ever seen Dune?
I've not seen the.
Fear is the mind killer.
I love the book. I'm excited for the remake. I fucking hate the 80s version. I don't.
I
It
know.
doesn't do it.
I
for
really
me, dude.
love David Lynch, but that movie's ridiculous.
And I have
It's
my
so
one buddy who's like, it's the greatest. And it's like, dude,
when
the
they
book.
got when they got the force fields on.
The book is one of the greatest sci-fi books of all time. You can't tell me that fucking movie does it any justice. So I'm excited about the new one. I'm gonna fucking eat a bunch of shrooms and watch that on HBO when it comes out. And, you know, go to Araxis and deal with.
Right.
you know, I'm gonna have some fun.
That movie's probably gonna be really fucking dope. I'm so
the guy's been
excited.
working on it for a long time. They tried to rush it out, and he was like, "No, let's wait." So that kind of gave me a lot of hope about Dune. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
You know, anything
That's cool.
sci-fi,
Please,
like
don't rush it. Don't
anything
rush it,
like
guys.
that.
I'm totally cool. Do you know who's directing it?
It's some French guy. I'm not really familiar with the guy, but he should be good.
Fucking Dune, man. I read that book. I've seen the old movies. I love the book. I haven't read it. I listened to an audio book a few times.
That's like one of the epitones of sci-fi. Anything that, like Asimov, I fucking go to town on just old sci-fi books for
Nice.
hours and hours. And
Nice.
I think that's why me and Adam got along pretty good. He's got that H.P. Lovecraft style, and just
Yeah.
it's fun. It's
Yeah.
whimsical.
I
It's
would probably say the same. That's what drew me to his work and to him.
and it's yeah. And so one day he was working on my foot, and it's like I hadn't seen Derb in a couple years, and he's like, "Holy shit, you got fucking tattoos now!" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, what's your plan for your other?" And I was like, I always knew I wanted to do a Japanese leg because we were talking about that earlier. That's to me is the epitome of where good tattooing came from. Is Japan during the Edo period. Those guys fucking really, you know, detail and fine. It's not tribal. It's a life story. It's kind of the first custom art, you know, like, hey, we'll give you a samurai fighting a fish or, you know. So I knew I wanted to do a traditional Japanese piece. I knew I wanted to do an Oni demon and a koi and a dragon because those are just my favorite. Maybe like a foo dog eventually somewhere along the way. And I was like, I want to do like a Pokemon themed maybe with the dragon and koi. And he's like, well, you know what? I'll do that. I don't even know what fucking Pokemon is, but I got you and shit. And so if Derb's offering to do a tattoo, he's been doing it for 31 years. I'm 30 years old, so he's been doing it longer than I've been alive. So I was like, yeah, thank you. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. So
Nice.
we're about halfway done with that project here. Got one more on this side coloring, and then I got to do line work on the other. And yeah.
What are you going to do on the other side?
He's going to do an Oni demon on the other side, just a big fierce demon. And then we were talking the one day, you're like, you should do it Pokemon themes.
Make it a trainer.
So he's going to kind of give it elements to make him a Pokemon trainer. And then he's going to have a Squirtle on his shoulder. It's very powerful. Just that's kind of my favorite.
It
thing.
became a very like developed, whimsical idea really quickly.
I feel like
didn't
I'm going to need to show Derb some Pokemon just to like, he's like, wait, they catch them and they train them. And it's like, yeah, Derb. But, you know, it's like,
I'm sure his son Sid collected the
said
cards.
He didn't.
But
I kind of asked him. He said he might have been a little too young for it. I don't know though.
I bet he
I
did.
don't know Sid very well. I've only met him like once. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm definitely gonna get the bodysuit eventually, but I'm at that point where I'm trying to lose weight, be more toned before I move on anything. So I'm just slowly working on this project now. Yeah.
Sorry that I'm sitting here doing this.
It's okay. Should I make the audio active on the iPad for now until we figure out the technical difficulty?
Did I break it?
I think it might. I don't know.
Can you hear us?
There we go.
Are we
Now we're
back?
switching back. I don't know how it got spotlighted, but sorry, guys.
Oh no,
When-
you're fine.
and
Nobody wants to look at me anyway.
and we're
you guys
back.
are the beautiful people. So
Oh no! Look at you.
no,
Look at you, man.
I'm
Look
trying.
at Fawn.
She's a goddess.
Back over here.
I love the
I almost wore that red
Oh,
tree
the
shirt
red
today.
tree.
I'm very happy I did not. Yeah, it looked really weird.
You baldy guys.
No, you got to
What
represent.
did you guys just get back from a sleepover?
Yeah,
Of course.
slept at the red tree. So much room for activities.
There is
We should have
a lot
all
of room
wore
for
a red
activities.
tree shirt. I got one too. We all.
Team Red Tree.
Team Red Tree. Wow, that place is just cool because it's a collective of all these great artists like you guys. But you guys aren't about hoarding your knowledge. You guys are all about like, oh yeah, I used this and I did this, and it's a very cool.
We all love to share it with each other.
Yeah, and it's a good place I feel like to grow. You know, yeah, it's also an awesome place to just go look at art. It's fucking probably the nicest museum in Columbus, and nobody fucking knows about it and shit. Like,
I mean, there is the Columbus Art Museum.
no, fuck that place. Go to Red Tree.
Well, you're
and-
not gonna see one bio painting there.
You know,
That's
just-
true. You won't see. I don't think.
And
you'll
that's
see
some
any bio.
fucking bullshit because the work that goes into so many bio pieces and so many just pieces of art, or tattoo art in general or like tattoo related art, but bio pieces, in my opinion, the most is because I love it so much.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. It's the
Right.
most realistic
But why the fuck are you not seeing like that in surreal and dark art in
because
places
that's not
like
mainstream. That's not Banksy. It's not.
So what we need
you
is
know.
we need a millionaire. We need a couple millionaires.
we need some hype boy fuck
Who
boys
have,
to push
like,
that shit up.
$50,000, just drop 50 grand on like a fucking Aegison piece or someone's piece or something like that, or like 100,000 or like more than that. Instantly set the bar.
I mean,
And
what,
I think that could really bring things.
I
into that.
thought Tool paid Alex Gray a shit ton of money
Did
for
they?
that. So I mean, Alex Gray's kind of put the community on the scene a little bit,
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
but it's
Yeah, no,
definitely
so,
not
like,
mainstream.
And you'll hear
It's kind of a
you'll
joke,
hear him
but it's
talk
like,
about that a lot too. You know how visionary art and things is just not as much.
well,
It's
it's
surrealist art is just not.
it's
as
not a
much in the
bougie fucking
mainstream.
thing, dude. It's for the people, though. I don't know. It's the people's art.
It
I'm
has,
fucking
it
all
has
about
its
it. so-
soul. It has its soul, and never give up that soul for any sort of money. So the monetary value just doesn't fucking matter. Make the
You know,
painting.
this is one of the.
Make the
This is one
fucking
of the.
painting. Who
this
cares
is
how
one of
much
the
it's gonna sell
struggles I
for?
have.
but then
with-
sell it for a lot.
Sell your paintings, Vaughn.
This
please.
is one of the struggles I
Mhm.
have with selling
Just
my
make
own
'em first,
paintings is because
then
like
sell.
it's hard. It's one of the big reasons I hold on to them is I kind of use them during my like tattoo consultations to explain the ideas that I'm playing with. And like when we can like at our consultations, like, okay, we'll take this idea from this painting with this idea from this painting and this idea from this painting, and I'll just wrap it and make it your sleeve and we'll throw this, and this in there. Like when I can look at my own artwork and pull that immediately into tattoos, that's pretty awesome. But the other thing is like I don't often get the chance to actually complete work. Like I have spurts where like I'll be really productive and I produce a lot of artwork.
Well, is anything
And
ever
then-
done?
Once I sign it, I'm done.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It's never really done because you can always
Is-
go forever and ever. But I think that is definitely something that does make a good artist is knowing
Finding
when to
completion.
be done. And that's why sometimes it baffles me when like where some people are at and like it's like, holy shit, you stopped there and it looks so amazing like that. But I'm like,
You
man,
coulda
my-
done this, you
no,
coulda done
well,
this,
not as
you know?
much that as much as like my brain wants to do all those things and like I would have done this and I would have done that, but it looks so good like that. And like it would have been so it would almost would have been harder for me to just be done as opposed to like doing
Well, simpler
going farther
better
but then
sometimes. you know?
right and then having a result that probably wasn't as good because I kept going into it or something. Like that's something I'm always like running on that border of not overdoing something but knowing just when to quit and being like, oh, I see something more I can do, but it looks good the way it is and it reads the way it should. I just need to stop thinking about it in this like super critical way.
But let me ask you this question. How do you put a price on it?
That can become offensive too.
so that's
from,
where-
like,
just-
yeah, you know.
So that's where with my own work,
I take
very-
chickens and we have cockfights.
I very rarely sell
you're gonna
my
get
work.
canceled, Jordan.
I just
Like-
put a bunch of them. I put a bunch of them out there, and I put numbers on all of them, and I say whichever one lives.
Fair. That's a horrible way, but
Canceled.
fair.
I'm just kidding. We used to do that, but
But yeah, I'm probably more likely to
kidding. I
give
would never- I
artwork
don't
away
kill
as a
anything.
gift than to sell it. Just
Well-
because like you were just saying, the value. Like I would rather somebody value it more than the amount of money they paid for it. Like I don't.
And I
like-
feel like that's got to be rough for you guys as artists. That's
So I for instance, the last Hell City, I brought a whole bunch of my artwork, but I really just wanted to like fill my table with eye candy.
Yeah.
And I put prices on all of it, but it was all really, really high. And Tony, you know, Tony, the warehouse manager.
Fun guy.
He came around and he's like, Fawn, you're not going to sell any of these. And I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, Fawn, that's like a 5-inch painting and you've got $500 on it. I was like,
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to part with it. And
It's
he was
literally,
like,
it's such a made up thing.
he was like, Guy doesn't even charge that much for his paintings. I was like, right, but Guy paints all the time and sells them all the time. I was like, I don't complete that many paintings.
Also,
I'm not-
congratulations
So I really
on
think
that
it's-
painting.
Oh, thank you.
Fucking beautiful.
So I'm not real motivated to sell them. But in reality, if somebody walked up and they were like, oh, that little thing, I love it so much, I would love to give you $500 for it. My soul would probably be like, oh, well, if you want it that bad, you can just have it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's probably how the conversation would go if somebody walked up and they were like, oh, I'm totally down to pay.
I wouldn't want to do
anything
that. I
you
would
want
still
for
want to
that.
pay you some fucking money for that shit because you put your time and
Yeah,
your
but
effort. And
I
your
want
fucking-
I want it to go to somebody who's going to appreciate it even more than I will, and more than my clients who are sitting in my chair will.
Or
Like,
if I want a let's say mathematical baseline, like let's just not even go to like the spiritual worth of like, oh, I spent all this time doing it and it should be worth this and all that. $3 per square inch, never any less than that.
$3 per square inch.
That's fucking not bad at all, man.
I mean, if you it gets kind of expensive though. I mean, if you really do the math on like a big ass painting, but it also dictates a few things. It helps you make a few decisions. Let's say I'm making this painting because I want to sell it. Cool. So I'm not going to work on this for 3 years. You know, I'm
kind
gonna
of bust it out.
I'm gonna do what I think that kind of money's worth, but that kind of money will also give, like, what I know that's going to be worth is going to dictate how long I'm going to work on this painting, how much effort I really want to put into this painting, and if I really do want to push the boundaries on this and go longer and longer and put all this extra detail into it, fuck it. I have my baseline. I can charge more for it, but I understand that that's what I normally charge for things. And is it really going to be worth more? And if it's going to be worth more than that, maybe work more on it.
Yeah.
But I also
mean,
don't really think about things always in those terms. I think about it just like do the fucking painting, and then when it's done, then I'm like, oh,
well, we're
wonder
kind of
what that's worth.
we were kind of talking about that earlier. People coming to you asking, well, this guy will do it for 50. Can you do it better price? And it's like, I couldn't imagine being an artist and put in, you know, a piece of soul into somebody, and then somebody comes and try to haggle with me. So I've always been kind of fucking like, whatever you want, let me, you know, I fucking, like I said, I see people spend
It's a
$1,000
really
on
hard, it's a really
pins, you
hard
know, it's
decision.
like-
It's a hard thing because I think about it too. Let's say 12 by 12 painting, $3 per square inch. 12 by 12. I'm stupid. How much is that together? Times each other.
144
144.
times 3.
times 3.
So that times
so
3.
500
Right. So
Yeah, around
make
the
a
same.
12 by 12 painting worth about $500 something.
It's not bad.
But let's say you got that, and like let's say that's a bio painting that somebody put 30 plus hours into, right?
yeah, I mean,
And then you have someone who does, like, I fucking love them, drip paintings, but like someone that does like a drip painting,
they just
and they do it 12 by 12,
Mhm.
and it took them 5 minutes to make that, and it took you 30 hours to do the other painting. Like, how do you measure the worth between the two there?
Mhm.
well,
And that's
that
something
comes
that's
to
really-
personal preference,
really
and
hard.
I would definitely notice that this motherfucker just threw paint on a canvas, and
Right. And there's so
fuck
many
him,
people.
you
There's
know,
so many
like-
people that don't have the eye for that either.
One of
they
my
don't have the
personal
eye for
goals.
like the difference of like seeing all these brush strokes versus seeing all this
the
stuff. because
texture,
They
and the
both
build-up
visually
and the
look
fucking-
wild, you know. And like most people, they look at drip paintings and they don't think how it was made. They think that's wild and that's there. It is the way it is, you know. Unless you've made a drip painting or seen them done. You know, they look fucking cool. They look like crystals and shit. And you know, if you've never seen how they're done, you might think that someone sat and brush stroked that for 50 hours.
No, they were fucking lazy. No, just fucking-
No,
Do you
it
guys-
looks stupid.
Do you guys know who
I'm just
Callan
kidding.
Schwab is?
I've never.
He does
Yeah,
this
you should-
like
I think Shelby's
spun.
right.
Oh, I've seen those where he's got the
He
paint
built the
cans. and-
apparatus. He built the swirling apparatus.
Yeah, those are
So,
pretty badass.
It's one of my goals. I like within the next couple of years, I'd like to have one of his original paintings, but I'm not in the ballpark where I'm spending, you know, $5 and $8 grand on a painting. I'm like, I don't think I've spent more than $1,000 on a piece of original
I'm
art.
also not that kind of tax bracket guy myself either. I'm fucking, you know.
But I'm just saying that's one of my goals. I want to get to
Right.
the point where like I can buy an original Callan Schwab, and like I think he's just, in my opinion, people may disagree. There are a lot of people that hate his work and think it's overpriced, but I think he's the Jackson Pollock of our generation. Like he took the splatter painting and he engineered a spinning platform, and like,
you ran with it.
Yeah,
and it's
and
his
he-
own unique.
yeah, he goes through the
Mm.
process several
I
times
think
until
if
he has
if
something
one
that's nice
person
and
bought
tangible.
if one person buys your work for a lot of money, it can easily just
Well, that's what I was.
Make your worth so much more, and I think that's what's fucking awesome. It's awesome, and it's also kind of shitty.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier. That
But I
monkey
think
see,
it's
monkey.
still cool
you know.
though, because if you can like, so much could be you just like fitting your work into a fucking fancy gallery one day. Like you just like got your piece into this gallery where all these other paintings are just in that echelon of like fine art. And then now your work's being seen as that because one person wanted to buy it for 10 grand and other people were like, yeah,
Well, I feel
that person bought it. They bought it. They must think it's really cool. So then it becomes
that must not be nice to be a tattoo artist on too, because you don't have to necessarily worry just about your fucking paintings or just about, it's like.
I would love to have that though. I'd love to be able to worry about my paintings. I would love to be able to sell more paintings for sure.
Post them up.
Right.
One of the cool things
I was talking to her about that the other day. I was
it's
like,
so true. That is what's nice about the tattoo thing is definitely
a painting can go up or down in value. Like once somebody buys it, they can then sell it and profit off of your work, which I have mixed feelings about, but like make your money, do whatever. But with a tattoo, it's non-transferable. You can't give this to somebody. Nobody can inherit it. It can't become
unless you're Mike Tyson's tattoo artist.
It is.
But
Fawn, have you done any research or know anything about NFTs yet?
NFTs
and artwork and NFTs and what's going on with that?
Is that the non-transferable, like the pixel art?
What are they called? The
digital art.
Digital art that they're encrypting. And
Yeah.
so like you say, like I made a digital painting. So basically what they do is it just gives that file a lot of encryption. So no one else would be able to open that file unless they had that file in particular.
Well,
but it also like turns it into
I'm super analog. I prefer to make my art in a way that I'm touching it and my hands are on it. And there's that immediate energy and spirit transfer. I feel like for me, a lot of that is lost with digital art. And I feel like, and
I think that's a generational thing right
I'm
there.
definitely not hating on art, any digital art whatsoever. But in my opinion, when I look at digital artwork of any form or facet, even like CGI, I feel like there's a coldness to it, because there's no human touch or connection to that artwork.
There still is.
Tell that to the artist who sat there and rendered that shit.
Yeah, that guy's
days.
zooming in, zooming out.
Tell that to them, Fawn.
But as a viewer, I still feel like there's a slight disconnect because your
I need to
hand
take you to
never
a couple concerts where you get sucked in. A lot of these shows, we were talking about festivals earlier. There's a few artists that.
But if you just saw that projection sitting static without the energy of people being involved in it, when you add the people and the festival to it, that like adds a little bit of a human element. That's one layer to a bigger puzzle. But I just feel like
it's almost like The Wall, where Pink Floyd did the visuals with the music. It became one. A lot of the it's.
I have such a duality with like my taste in.
Let me say it this way, because I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. I do love digital art. I love what's possible. I love the brainstorm capacity it can give. But when you walk up, if you take a digital picture or you take a digital print and you walk up and you look at it, you can't see the process. You can't feel the layers. You can't feel how long this took. You can't. You know what I mean? There's that element of like the human touch, the actual, like when I walk up to, like, I'm looking at your airbrush painting over in the corner, like even looking at that, even with the light hitting it weird right now, I can see all of your thinking that went into that. Like even pieces that got blacked out, like they're still there. Like every spirit and every drop of energy that you put into that painting is there, even if you don't see it at first glance. And sometimes, like, this is horrible to say, but I love touching original artwork, and I love like
feeling
almost communing. Communing with the artist that made it.
Naughty.
You know? Yeah.
She's
It's naughty.
naughty.
I love communing with the other artists. And I feel like with digital art, all you can do is look. There's like a whole extra like spiritual amount of energy that is lost in translation for me, not for everybody.
I
but
respect
for
it.
me.
You got to get more robot-y.
I'm going to be honest.
I'm not robot-y at all.
Become more synthetic.
I feel it even with the digital art that I make. I never value it as much as a painting that I make, and that's why I paint. Like I just don't feel. I don't feel the connection to it as much, even no matter how much time I spend on it. And I can even spend the time, just like a normal painting and spend all that time on it. But until I have, like, if I can print it onto a canvas and have it printed off, I would feel different about it. But until it's on something physical, I do have this, like, I don't know, there is this like split between it, but I'm also fucking in love with digital art and digital everything.
You can
and
play with digital
multimedia.
art, you want to start moving it, you want to start morphing it,
and you can pull in so many different programs. You can do so many different things, with it when you're starting to work with computers. It's insane.
But
And
you're right.
especially
You
like
want
you
to
look at
feel it.
So
It's like you
here's
buy the
3D
CD, you
projection
get the
type
CD,
stuff.
you get the book, and you
For
get to read
instance.
the stuff inside the CD, and then now you download it. And it's not the same. You're right. You
Right.
wanna-
Remember when you'd open a CD and then you would see the artwork, and
Right,
then when
right.
you listen to the music, like
you
an
can
old,
read the lyrics
like an old Tool
inside.
album. Like you would like
Yeah.
get an old Tool album,
It
and then
came
you
with the
look through,
Alex
you'd see
Gray
the Alex
book.
Gray art, and you're like,
Yeah,
that's
what the
fucking
fuck?
crazy. What the fuck is this music?
That
gonna be
10,000
about?
Days
He's
sleeve
fucking-
was
you're
like
looking
the
at
best.
something like that on the wall, and like you're like, holy shit, what has this got to do with this music? That's weird
Everything
that's
to do
weird
with
as
it
fuck.
because it's connected.
And then you
I
listen
think
to it, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm just like flying out into the
Well, we were
universe,
talking about that
into
earlier.
that painting.
we were talking about that earlier. The music to me is just as important as the art itself. If I can't, I don't. If not more important, I want to. I
It
want to
gives it
have
this
the
visual
feels.
side of it.
I want to have the feels. I want to have the goosebumps. It's
Mhm.
like you started listening to immersive, right? You know, I want like this tribal, basic human sound that resonates. It doesn't matter what fucking country you're from. It doesn't matter if you're in Alabama listening to Chris Stapleton or in LA, listening to whatever. It's just
Yeah.
it's tribal. It's human instinct. And I
But-
feel like art is that way too. There's stuff that resonates with a lot of us, the powerful, bold lines, or
Mhm.
this beautiful, surreal light. It's all representation of human beings, and it's fun.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful thing.
Something I love about I think digital art is like trying to find the connection between the two, because there is that disconnection. Like I feel it strongly. Like being an artist, I feel the disconnection between like the real physical painting and then doing like paintings digitally. But I think there's like this medium and trying to find a way to like make what you're doing digital like real in some way, trying to come up with like, that's why like you got 3D printing nowadays. You got so many different ways to create something that you could
the
have
technology is
that, like,
there.
let's say like so ways to save time. Like say I was going to make a sculpture, make a mold of something, and I took all the time to sculpt it by hand. Like, yeah, that's fun. But if I can make a 3D mold of that, make that,
you can print out 20 of them,
3D
dude.
print it, or just 3D print that really fast, have that done. And then, I don't know, I could make a mold of that, and then I could make a sculpture off of that or from that, or use that for something.
Mhm.
Well, there's just so many different ways to innovate
That's
these
kind
different
of
things.
that's kind of how I feel about digital art. I think in a nutshell, like when I sit, like for myself, when I make any kind of digital art, when I sit down on my iPad and I start drawing and brainstorming, I'm only going to make like a quick mock-up or rendering for something that I'm going to tattoo or something that I'm going to paint.
Well, you don't want to put
So you
too
know what I
much
mean?
of
It's
your
just-
creative.
It's like my tool to like go through the brainstorming process faster. So instead of like painting something 6 different ways before I'm happy with it, I can like mock it up and move things around and be like, okay, that's the best layout. And this is where I want my light source to come from. And then I can paint it from this quick scribbly mock up or like pictures that are just pasted together. And like I've done the brainstorm work. Now I've made it physical. So now I can use this crude mock-up, this crude digital mock-up to make the organic thing.
So
And that's I love it for that. That is
So
like,
I-
so many of my paintings.
I have
you
a
know, start
question
off
for
like
you
that.
guys, because like I said earlier, I see the art in my head, but anytime I try to put pen to paper, it fucking fails. So that's why I have huge respect for you guys. But does that always go like you just see it in your head and you can just do it?
Sometimes I'll sit
It's
down.
always like birthing a baby in some way.
Sometimes I'll
I've
sit
never
down
birthed a
with
baby, so I don't know what
super-
that means.
So last time I birthed a baby,
No.
Sometimes I'll sit down with
Spiritual
like
baby.
a super specific idea, or sometimes I'll even sit down with a client and I'll be drawing on them with a super specific idea and it derails, but it derails in the most blissful, happy, like the way that it was
Organic
better
and
to
you
begin
just-
with. Like I
yeah.
had it in my mind, but like something guided me in a different direction. It's like, oh, this is better. Anyway, this is better than anything we talked
So you're
about.
cool with letting that go, you know?
I have. It definitely took me a while to learn how to like let go of control a little bit and just like let the creative process happen. Like it doesn't always have to be structured. It can just come. And when it just comes, it's like effortless.
See, I feel like I have too much.
Yeah.
This is probably
For
why I
me,
suck at
there's a-
art. I have to have too much control. Like
Mhm.
this is a when, where, what.
I've
you know?
it's definitely been a process. Like so there comes a point in a project. And for me, like the first 75% of a project, I'm letting go of control and almost like free form, letting it happen. Sometimes with my tattoos, even like we'll have a rough idea of the story that's happening, but it's going to be kind of free form until about 75% of the way
We're
through.
in the Serengeti now.
And then I like buckle in and it's like, okay, so I've told the story. Now I got to bring it to life. I got to like get the details right. I got to make this look distant. I got to make this look up close. But like up until like that final like the final polishing layer of things. Sometimes it's literally like a stream of consciousness based on like the stories my client and I have shared. And my paintings definitely start out as like just a like, I'm gonna make this painting just like a ground. I'm gonna make it a color, and then I'm just gonna like look at it and see what appears. And then I'm gonna like make those shapes that aren't really things. And I'm gonna turn it upside down, and I'm gonna do it again. And then like slowly but surely something evolves. So like I've learned to let go altogether. Like when I'm just painting for my own joy and pleasure, I've learned to let go altogether of any preconceived, this is what this is gonna be, unless there's like, I'm painting this for another project, or like this is the story I'm telling, this thing that I'm painting. But
well, I have so much fucking love and respect for that. It's just, I do appreciate that you guys do. That's what you do with your life is art and shit, and it's fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool. More people need to do that, you know.
Well, thanks for
get away from
appreciating
QAnon and make art, you know. Fucking yeah, I don't know, but
one of these days you're gonna wake up inspired and you're gonna realize, like, oh, I had it all along.
I'm inspired, but I just suck. Like I have notebooks just full of just shitty trash.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I just turned 30.
Oh, you got plenty of time.
I'm sure.
And you're getting healthy, so you're gonna be around for a while. You got plenty of time to learn like where your creative like niche is going to be.
I'm trying. Like I said earlier, I'd like to make toys. Like I got an airbrush and do different
like
color
children's toys,
like Gundam, like Gunpla and Dragon Ball Z toys and different things. Zoids. I love Zoids. All that shit is fucking awesome. And I was talking about that earlier. Like
toy design is actually a really rad industry to get into.
I would. That would be sick.
I don't know any toy designers anymore.
Well, let's design you guys some toy lines, dude. Like the Jordan Rookies toy line,
robotics and 3D modeling.
Boom, boom. But I love.
You mean I could have a Fawn Baker action figure?
Yes.
A mini
And
Fawn.
we can have it walk around.
We can have a mini Fawn.
Make simple decisions. Fawn.
Can Tiny Fawn ride the drone?
She could.
Tiny Fawn would for sure be riding drones.
We need to make a Tiny Fawn.
We can make a little saddle for the dog.
We could have a swarm of Tiny Fawns riding swarms of drones.
Well, we don't want too many Tiny Fawns.
I just want one tiny fawn.
Just one tiny fawn.
Just one tiny. You know how Russ has Tiny Russ? It's been all over the world. His little 3D printed Tiny Russ. It's great. I need a tiny fawn.
We need more toys in the world.
I feel like the toy version of me, I would look like a really pale avatar. Like what are they? The Na'vi?
Oh.
What about them?
You know,
when I hear Avatar,
that little James Cameron movie.
I think of like The Last Airbender. So that's what
I wouldn't mind looking like an airbender either. Throw an arrow on my forehead, give me powers.
Dude,
I'm down with that.
Some people have done like some really beautiful airbender tattoos, like really intricate, like Jordan's work, like fine, sacred geometry, but they get the arrows on their forearms and stuff. That was fucking pretty badass.
I feel like if my dreads just turned into an arrow, I'm halfway there. I could be both avatars at once.
Would you be in like glowing state, or would you know?
I feel like I need to glow.
I'd be glowing. White eyes. Glowing.
That's where the blue would come from for the Na'vi.
Get that blue and green while you can, you know.
Yeah. I'm with it. Glowing freckles.
Yeah. So where were we at? I don't know what we were talking about.
Dragon Ball Z.
Well, we can always talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Making toys.
Oh, making toys. So yeah, when I make toys and stuff, I have like a whole cabinet full of toys where in my head I can go back and work on those for another 20 hours if I want to, but it's kind of before I'm done. I'll fucking start on a new project. So
how do you make them? Are you like making them out of plasticine clay?
You get like the different like the Bandai kits, like the Japanese
like the model kits,
and then you get the little you cut them down and you
with
shave
like the testers
them.
Kits and stuff.
Yeah, you have the airbrush, and I like the Tamiya brand a lot too. I'd say they make the best shit. It probably destroys your lungs and the environment, but it's fucking awesome and it shines beautifully. And
nice.
Yeah, so I really enjoy. I'm super meticulous with it. Like some people can just rush them, but I want to shave every piece down and file it. And just
fuck yeah.
You know, get the ink linings on each side, and but I'm never satisfied with any toy I've ever made.
You should bring some into the shop. We would totally like display them proudly at Red Tree.
Yeah, almost 100% say if you had like a Star Wars one and you painted it all up,
I need to make
Derb would buy it from you in like a heartbeat.
I would just give it to Derb, dude.
Right, or he would take that in a heartbeat.
Derb's. I'm so grateful for that guy.
I also just want to see one in the shop.
Yeah,
dude.
I had no idea you did this kind of stuff.
That's dope. I love models.
I think I have a couple pictures. I just worked on some. I like Digimon a lot.
Nice.
They just released a couple Digimon models. I'm fucking all about that.
That's awesome. Of what ones?
They did a War Greymon I just did, and then like
That's
here's
fucking sick.
one I just did.
Oh damn.
Oh, crazy.
And I like to do like you can do like different shiny ones, and then you can do like battle damage ones. I like to do
When you get those, are they all just like blank gray?
they're just blank, yeah. And then you got to cut them and prime them, paint them different. You can do like some base. A lot of kits have like some base colors, and
Right.
like here's a Zoid I just did. He's more battle damage. He's got the
That's
grays.
awesome.
You can just swipe through. There's a bunch of.
Man, I need to order me up some fucking
They're-
Zoids
it's
and
a
shit.
fun
I love
hobby, dude.
having like those mech and like just looking at those mech parts and just having that around. I want those around me.
That actually, I think,
That's so
hopefully
sick.
looked okay on the
That looks
And
awesome.
here's,
camera.
here's a bunch of I did. I did like Gundams. This is fucking. And then. Sorry, I'm showing my toys. I get excited about
Show 'em
toys.
off, man.
oh, I make toys.
He's like, oh, I make dope shit.
Well,
Sorry.
you guys, Toy Story 2, there's a scene where Woody gets hurt and his arm comes off and he's getting kidnapped, about to go to Japan. And the old guy comes in and puts Woody in the chair and fixes Woody up and
Puts like gets a little
Get 'em,
monocle
get 'em.
and all that.
You wanna be that guy.
I want to be that fucking guy. So
and
all the
also,
toys.
like the meticulous nature of these, I feel like you
here's the one
probably
I'm working
relate
on right
to.
now. That's my current working project.
I feel like you
Yeah.
probably relate to the scientist from 9 too, don't you?
I don't think I've ever seen 9.
You've never seen 9?
I've never seen
Oh,
9.
you gotta watch.
Is that a Tim
9.
Burton
It's
movie
so
too?
Good. So it actually started out as a short film by a college student, almost kind of like in tribute of or in the style of Tim Burton, and then it
It just
basically
kinda-
picked up steam and got made into a full film.
Fucking, that's
But
sweet.
it's pretty deep. Like my nephew's watched it since he was a little kid, and a lot of like the social commentary of it was kind of over his head. But like if you watch it from an adult point of view, or like maybe coming down off of mushrooms,
Or maybe on mushrooms.
or maybe on mushrooms,
Depends
it's
on you.
pretty
you could
rad.
be you could be coming up on mushrooms.
Yeah, you usually.
She's
When-
saying she doesn't seem to feel that one. very
So
much,
no,
but-
here's how it usually goes down. When I'm playing with chemistry or mushrooms, I want to be out in nature.
Yeah,
But
I wanna
however,
be out
at
in
the
the
end of
trees,
the
so-
day, when there's still like traces of the chemistry going on, that's when I like to just like
You're
put fun
calmed
movies
down
and like
something colorful.
bring my brain waves back down to like normal as I drift off to sleep. So I don't start out just tripping and watching movies. That's my like, okay, I've taken everything in the nature.
I'm
in.
100% with you that I want to be outside with trees and grass. And I tell that to people, and they're like, "No, let's go party." I'm like, "Dude, that's not what the fucking."
No.
It can be.
No,
I
you
never
know,
ever
it's just-
mix
I'm
my
not a re-
stuff
I'm
either.
not a
Me and my brother kind of
recreational-
got into it one day about it. It's like
Psychedelics.
he's not very into psychedelics and shit. He kind of,
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It's a letting go of the ego, and
Mhm.
that's really all we have as humans is our fucking ego. So a lot of people aren't fucking about letting go of their egos, and I respect it. But he was talking about like, well, if I do shrooms, let's go party and drink and shit. I'm like, no, if we do shrooms, let's go to the
Let's
park
enjoy
and
being
you know,
alive.
let's fucking go hang in a
Let's
hammock
enjoy
and
the air
shit.
we're breathing.
And he's like, no, that sounds fucking scary. And I'm like, dude, the
That
best.
sounds
That
scary.
sounds scary.
I was like,
That's
I'll be like,
awesome.
man, going out sounds scary.
The best trip I ever had was like on a bunch of shrooms, and it was a beautiful sunny day. You know, the days where you can talk to the trees and the grass and all that. And I think I just laid down and just looked up at the sky, and I felt the ride on
That's
like
always
I
the
could
best.
feel Earth floating through the universe and getting pushed. It's like wee.
Just finally
It's
feeling
like-
that 12,000 mile an hour
Yeah,
flow.
we were-
like, finally,
we
I
were-
can finally feel it.
we
I
were
can
gonna-
sense it.
And then I was on enough too, where the clouds were all, so it felt like I was fucking getting just riding Earth, and it was kind of a fun perspective and shit. And I was like, you want to be outside, man. You want to feel small.
I love it.
It's
you know?
awesome.
I love when I'm on either chemistry or mushrooms, the way that like if you get far enough out into the woods where you can't hear like industrial sounds or traffic or
It's
anything
kind of
like
hard
that.
here in Ohio, but
when
you know.
when you can get that far out, you start hearing the music around you. Like
Oh.
waterfalls are my jam. So when you're close to a waterfall, there's this real droning bass line in the back. Even a little waterfall does
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And sometimes you can't audibly hear it, but you'll feel it. You'll feel that like churn, that
And the breeze, the weeds. Nature's fucking awesome, you know.
and then you throw in like the cicadas and crickets and birds that are like deliberately making noises. So you've got these high pitches above this low rumble. And like
Must have been some good shrooms. No, I'm just
Right, there's like a bass beat in the background.
This is without mushrooms,
No,
so it gets more intense on mushrooms.
As you get closer to the waterfall.
Then you hear the
nature's music. I'm for
nature's
it.
dubstep.
I think that's why I was saying earlier. I like there's something primal about dubstep. That
Yeah,
just is
actually,
fucking,
So since we're on the topic, the very first time that I did DMT, one of the things that I
Love
wasn't
it.
prepared for was the sounds.
the
that
wubs.
So what I heard, and so many dots were connected for me in this moment, but what I heard was like all of those nature sounds exponentially.
Yes.
But then there were all these natural sirens and
Just-
like bird noises.
I
and
call
like,
them wubs.
so I hear all of this at the same time, and then it just turns into this super trancy, like almost like zannied out dubstep.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I chase that
I
shit.
get
I-
interdimensional cicadas.
I chase it. You know. That's why.
I was not prepared for the cacophony of beautiful noises that I was going to hear, and they were all. It was just like a symphony of nature. It was a symphony of nature.
My worldview is definitely destroyed because of DMT. Like I can't listen to music the same. I can't,
Mhm.
see. I don't know. It's a joke, dude. Reality seems to be a fucking joke, and everybody takes it too seriously.
So
Life is what
one
you
of my
make
recent
it, like
clients
it's just
firmly believes that like if any of the conspiracy theories are true, that the one that is
Simulation?
true is the simulation one.
That's
Like
what I'm
we're
kinda-
just in a game that we opted into, and
well,
we'll
that
wake up.
one's kind of scary too because the math is there as well. Like
Right.
all the greatest mathematicians have done. If the humans continue on the path that we are going right now without destroying ourselves, we will eventually
Right.
become.
I think that it's like one of two things. It's either we are or we aren't. But it's,
Well, maybe we
I
are
think-
just
I
a
think
circle.
If we are, that's interesting and it's very possible. I think that's really
So if
awesome.
we're a
But
simulation,
it's also really crazy to think.
aliens.
I'm a
I
fun
think-
simulation.
I think it's
dude.
cool to think that no matter what, like we will be doing it ourselves. So like we might be the first to do it, but by that means makes you think like we are. We would be because they're going to eventually do that. Just imagine like as soon as those AI and in video games, the little NPCs you walk up to and they say some things, like once they start registering actual emotions and actual feelings and registering you on some sort of like network, like in their own little neural net and memories based on interactions they've had with you, you've now got this AI that's like a conscious thinker in some way in a video game. Like how could you ever
Who was it?
turn that shit
Who was
off?
it? At Asimov? He had the quote. He said he believes that human beings are just the reproductive organs for artificial intelligence. We're just kind of that.
That's funny. I
It's-
like that. I never knew that he said something like that. But
I think it was Asimov that said that because
that's-
he's the father of
right.
like artificial
Sounds
intelligence.
like it, but,
He
like,
spent a lot of time.
That's my
thinking of-
theory. I think honestly, I
we-
think life is like the gestation for like a some sort of AI. In the
there's all
future.
these theories about aliens too, which I can go on different theories about aliens forever. But one I've always liked is like the Greys. They've always kind of been watching over us.
Mhm.
But the theory is that they might just be us thousands and thousands of years down the line, making sure
Time
we
traveling.
don't fuck the shit up so they can exist.
right.
And they're just the evolved because evolution is fucking awesome. We're watching this with COVID right now. It fucking sucks, but you can just see how fast life
Mhm.
can change and warp and find a way to fucking get better and stronger.
What do you think UFOs are?
I don't know.
Because they're there and the science is there now and like they're definitely up there. The science isn't there. What's there is the actual them
So
being
my
there. But,
theory
like,
on
what do you-
aliens
what do
is
you think it
my
could
theory
be?
on aliens is kind of different. It's kind of so I believe at one point we were monkeys, hanging in a tree, and I believe some sort of comet or asteroids hit the earth. I think like the mycelium and the mushrooms that we ate might be the higher intelligence. Like these bacteria, these germs might be trying to get back into fucking space, and they're using us as kind of you see it a lot with parasites and shit. Like the fucking ant will eat something, and then the ant will go get eaten by the cat, and then
Mhm.
fucking reproduce through and it's all I don't know.
So you think that's like a
I think that's a good possibility is that we are not anything at all. We're just this fucking force that's being driven by something else.
I think there's a truth to that. I think so.
I
in
think
my opinion.
I think there's some sort of like mycelium or bacteria that we ingested at one point that gave us this drive to
I
kind of.
can definitely believe in like stoned ape theory, or I mean, I don't want to say I believe things like that.
I'm open to
definitely
it.
open to those theories for sure.
And
I like that
then
idea
See,
that like something like that
I
might
have-
have really like made some like monkey or something think something different and gave him some like access to these higher dimensions, because I do think when you're taking DMT and mushrooms and things, there is this access to like a higher, I don't want to say higher dimension, it could be,
I think it's
but
vibrations,
also,
dude.
I think it's like it's removing filters or maybe adding filters in certain ways that make
Right.
it so you're seeing something that's already there, you're experiencing something that's already there, a mental state that's already there. You're just so filtered every day that you don't see that, because we create all these mental constructs for what we think those things are. And so when you take all those associations away,
You kind of see that with cats. You
know,
ever watch a
colors look
cat?
different, everything looks different.
If you ever watch a cat, he'll freak out to something. You'll be like, "What the fuck is that cat doing?" Who's to say that the cat is not seeing something, or there's something, there's a vibration?
Right.
Like, if you ever
been
around your
cats
cat?
can see you. Cats can see UV. So like that's really wild. So it always we can never see UV. We can see like purple light, you know,
Right.
which kind of looks like UV. Like our imaginations of UV is purple, because that's
That's how
that's the
we-
closest we can see to that spectrum, but we're not seeing it. There's this whole missing
Mhm.
area that we cannot see. So there's always that light going around, and cats can always see that, which is really wild.
Well, I feel like they're fucking just
thank you.
always tripping. Like,
No, but
I,
we're
I,
kidding, though.
no, I feel like they're just
For
kind of
real.
always in this realm. And if you've ever like, yeah, sure.
Please, yeah. You
Um,
might gotta cut up some beans.
And if you ever like actually look at your cat while you're tripping, he can see you. Like, next time you're on something.
Oh yeah, no, for
You-
sure.
you
My
know.
cat's like my animals are so attuned to me when I'm tripping, for sure. I feel it hardcore. Cats have always been the biggest one. So whenever I'm in like an altered state, my cat is like whatever cat I have at the time. This cat hasn't really experienced me tripping yet, because he's only like a year old, but my last cat for sure acted really weird.
Yeah, they're like,
It'd
what
be-
the
it'd
fuck?
either
They
be
can
so
see
lovey,
you. They're
or they'd
like,
just be like extra.
they're like, whoa, what are you doing here, bro? I've never
Right.
fucking like actually been like this.
But sorry.
No, you're fine. These are none of my beliefs. These are just all cool ideas that I play. I don't like beliefs.
Right.
They're,
No,
you
we just
know,
like
fucking-
we just like to like I like to.
No, I
what's
just
the way
don't
we
want
can put
anybody
it?
to think like I'm just some fucking asshole out there. Like, yeah, this guy believes we're fucking mushroom
Yeah.
drones. You know, I just think that's a cool.
No, like we there's theories we like to poke at and things. Like we like to
There's a talking quotes, better people, but there's one. It's I don't like beliefs. I like ideas, because you can never change a belief.
Right.
But an
I like to
idea
say
can
I s-
always get.
I like to say that I subscribe.
yeah,
I subscribe to this
yeah.
mode of thought.
You know, I can always.
I subscribe to this right now. You know, I might stop that subscription if I don't really like where that's going.
You know, but I'm never gonna just anchor myself to an idea, because once you're anchored to an idea, you can never actually
Right.
be open-minded to
And
something
if
else.
there's
and
one
some-
thing that like psychedelics and DMT and all that have shown me, it's like definitely like how different reality really is, and
Yeah.
how much everything's subject to just huge amounts of change and stuff, and always being open to that.
And then my other favorite alien theory we were kind of talking about was that the aliens that we do see are just us from the future. I don't know.
Do you think so? I'm just gonna say this. There's definitely like lights in the sky. There's definitely weird stuff. Even the government puts them out
Those
there.
are Elon Musk's satellites.
They might. Well, there's those too. But there's definitely like some other weird shit doing some weird shit. For sure. Don't need to go on what those are. But like, whether you believe it or not, like there's some weird shit going on up there. But like, what would you think they are? Would you say like outside of Elon Musk, like his are very identifiable, but like a lot of people think they're UFOs now. But like,
Well, they're
not.
freaky. The first time you see
Right.
it, you see
I
like
thought they
10
were-
of them in a row.
I
You're
thought
like,
they were
We're
UFOs
getting
at first.
invaded,
I was
dude.
like, what the fuck is that? That's crazy. But
I
then I
thought-
was like, oh yeah, Elon Musk got that Starlink thing out there.
Yeah.
But there's some other really weird ones. Like, have you ever heard of David Fravor?
He's
the
the
military commander that's seen the weird Tic Tac UFO and
yeah.
stuff.
And then there's a bunch of stories. The CIA are supposedly going to release it, but
Yeah.
who knows, dude?
But like, what do you think they are? Like, they don't have to be in aliens. Like, I definitely would love to think that it's something like that. And I personally believe.
But what would the aliens'
I love to
motivations be?
subscribe to that
That's a
being
whole-
the case. But I think like, man, if someone could just get a crazy propulsion technology that can do something like that, like I could very well be another government.
You know, I like to think
that's
maybe the
interesting too.
Atlanteans are still fucking kicking it, dude.
I like that. I would
Okay,
like
what
to
if
think that.
what if Atlantis is in the sky? It's literally in the sky.
Ooh. Well, I think we would have seen Atlantis in the sky with all of our satellite imagery at this point. So I think it is kind of like the
mean-
new King Kong, where it's like the universe is
Not if
different
we're talking
chambers of the
about. Not
planet.
if we're
Yeah,
talking
I'm open to
about.
that.
Not
if-
I'm subscribing.
Not
I'm
if we're
subscribing
talking
too.
advanced technology.
well, you got to think they were supposedly advanced.
They go in
Cloaking
2000
technology, things
you
like
gotta,
that.
You got to think
Water,
how
space,
far
and land.
Christianity's pushed back human technology in the last 2,000 years. We were on the form of steam engines right before the fall of like
True.
Alexandria. Like we lost so much fucking knowledge. We don't know how they did it. We guess aliens now because we're
So-
fucking stupid. No, our ancestors were just really smart people that figured this shit out.
Right. Have you
and
ever
they
heard of the Vimanas?
No, I have not.
Vimanas are the spaceship. Like they're literally there's paintings of them all over the place, and they're from the Hindu religions, India.
Like the chariots in the
So
sky.
yeah,
you know.
basically the Vimanas would be like these things that people are riding around in the sky all over the place. They literally have like diagrams of exactly like how they're put together with all these different things and gears and shit, but no real like description of, or at least real description of what they were used for, what they really were. They just kind of attest it to like old school mythology and stuff.
I
There was
mean,
even a full race of blue people.
Is it too far out of the crazy to think that a race of people on Earth was just so fed up with everybody else that they hid themselves away? I don't think that China did it. China was 1,000 years ahead of
I think if
everybody.
there's
What
a
if
hu-
Atlantis is on the moon?
Let's
That
say
would
they
be-
What if
created-
that's the dark side of
they
the moon?
created the propulsion system to go in the water and in space and on the
Maybe-
land because that's
Maybe
what
they're
these
the
things
ones
are
giving us
doing.
technology.
They
Or
would be-
inside the moon?
I
I'd
subscribe
go
to the
underwater.
Atlantean
I'd
theory.
go underwater. I would definitely do that.
Because we
I'd find
always
some
see these.
giant
We always see
caverns.
these in front of the ocean, right? They're always above, doing 120 knots against the wind, and on the ocean.
Dude, these UFOs do some weird ass shit though. Like it's just like, man, are they drunk as fuck up there? Like what is their decision making process when they're up there? I just don't understand when I'm seeing some of these things.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think we are of a conscious level to even comprehend anything of that. We're not leveled up to that point, dude.
No.
I really don't believe. I think we're awesome.
It's like a flat line looking at a sphere.
I think we're a fucking cool ass animal. As far as animals go, I think humans are pretty cool. We have some shitty fucking humans, but we're fucking pretty badass. But I don't think we're that apex alpha that we've,
No, and I want to know what the fuck else is out there. So bad.
Can we start talking about Bigfoot again?
So
I'm more interested in aliens, but I'm always down to talk about
I'm always
Bigfoot.
down to talk about the Fae and the gnomes. I do believe that there are a secret. Well, that's just a fun theory. That there is just a society of like gnomes and fairies hiding from man after long wars. And then Bigfoot,
Long wars.
after Bigfoot is just that asshole that gets spotted every once in a while, and they're like,
A
guys,
big,
fucking
big gumpy Bigfoot. Come on, dude. Stay
come on."
inside.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely
that's funny.
possible. I think
I always
there
like fucking
are.
with
I
that.
think there's a lot that goes
Sorry,
on
guys, I
around
have
us
that.
that we just don't.
Well, there's so
understand.
many caves and there's so many forests that are untouched, and it's like, well,
It's pretty arrogant to think that there's not something that's clever enough to know that we're dangerous.
Either you guys, Adam has multiple Bigfoot stories. He has seen Bigfoot.
I don't. I think Adam's fucking with you when he's saying that, but
and then my buddy Steven, he has seen. He will tell you. I don't know how much I believe him or not, but like dozens. He met a whole Bigfoot family.
we'll talk about Bigfoot. I don't really subscribe to Bigfoot.
We had an episode with Joey Knuckles, and it was a huge
It
part of
was-
our conversation. And now I'm like, man, like I grew up watching Harry and the Hendersons, but I never like it was one of my favorites.
I love John
but I never
Lithgow.
considered. Oh, me too. Do you remember Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah, my
It's
dad
one of
has
my
some
favorites.
some station, and literally all it plays on there is Third Rock from the Sun, and like according to Jim, and it's like this weirdest TV channel, and it's like, yeah, Tommy.
Yep, I'm all
No,
about Third
fucking-
Rock.
That's a fun concept of a show right there.
But I had never really considered Bigfoot as maybe being real. And now as an adult, and it's like, it would be incredibly arrogant of us to think that like as hard as it is to spot cougars and things like that, it's unreasonable to think that there's not something that could have a better sense of smell to like hide
it's
more
not
quickly.
It's not
And
that. I'm just saying the people that are pushing the agenda for Bigfoot, they're full of fucking shit. I don't. It's just. It's same with a lot of the alien people. They want to fit in. They want to feel special. So they're like, "Yo, I saw fucking Bigfoot. There's this cool story." And it's like, part of me is just like, "No, you didn't." It's the same with like, "I got abducted by aliens," and it's like, no alien wants to talk to you, bro. Fuck off.
I just like
I
considering
don't
the
really believe in
possibility.
Bigfoot as much. I think
I think it's a
there's
fun-
this possibility, but
it's a fun magical.
the one I truly think is up there is I really think there are strange lights in the sky, and I think there are strange things happening when it comes to that. Alien abductions, I don't give a shit about those stories. I want to know about the technology of what the fuck I've seen, plus the other things that I'm seeing,
I'm gonna subscribe to Atlanteans, because if some outside source is fucking with us, they're dominating. They're just taking us out. We're too dangerous. We're fucking monkeys
Yeah,
with sticks, dude.
they
But-
just be playing. If they're playing, they're just playing. And
You
what's the
know,
purpose? Why
that,
would they?
What's that South Park episode, the Pinewood Derby?
But like,
where he-
let's say this though, like that's not even something that would be like, what would we want to take over an anthill? Like, how much do we give a shit about that? But we do go and look at anthills with magnifying glasses, and we do go and check shit out, and we all go with our little
This ain't just
cameras
some
and record
anthill,
shit.
though. This is we
Like,
have nuclear technology.
Let's say they
dude.
could go,
Like,
they'll go like, pew, pew. So like you are at fucking Alpha Centauri to, Proxima, fucking whatever.
see, that's why
over
I think,
here, bam, bam, and they can do that. That makes like space travel like a nothing.
See,
like,
that's
at
why I
all.
think the aliens would be local. I think they would be us from a different,
A different time or a different
the
dimension.
universe on universes, man. It's like they talk about like what's that called?
The fourth dimension.
Theoretical physics and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
if the math is right, then there is an infinite amount of this conversation going around. There's an infinite. It's unfathomable, even as humans, to describe what an infinite is. And it's like,
right. All possibilities exist in every moment.
and like we live in space. Just because we can't see space doesn't mean that space isn't an actual
Mhm.
physical fucking thing. We are in some vacuum. We don't know how big it is, all relative. We could be, as far as we know, on some dude's ball strap, like that we don't even comprehend. But
Like in reality,
I think we're
our
something though.
solar
We're some
system
big
could be
structure. What the
a-
fuck is
an
this big
electron
structure?
cloud.
we could be a computer, man.
We're
The
a
way
big
the way
structure.
people are addicted to like phones, and it's almost like we're batteries sometimes.
I mean,
like
we're just
fucking-
robots. I mean, we are literally just organic robots.
Get on that fun. I told you earlier, you're a robot.
They
I
are.
mean,
Literally all of our systems of our body work just, same as robots.
We
just
use very low wattage,
very
dude.
intricate.
we have this like
we have our own mental algorithms
electromagnetic
to figure things
field
out.
around us all the time.
Well, our brain is we have water. It's very low though. It's kind of crazy that it functions your whole body with.
Well,
just
think
such a
about the
small-
heat that you generate. You ever seen The Matrix?
No, I've never heard of the
we-
Matrix. What's
we,
that?
we generate a lot of heat. Think about what it takes just to make your body that hot.
90 degrees,
That's actually
98
that's
degrees
actually a
all the time.
lot of energy that comes off of you. That's a lot.
I
of
thought we
electric
weren't
energy.
even enough to like light a light bulb.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be like light and light. I mean, I guess it is pretty low.
Yeah, like I think
You're gonna
we're-
need a lot of people
but
if you
I'm
want to
just
start
saying,
harvesting
like,
energy.
you would be surprised that we can, run, function, think.
So what if
build,
there was a
and-
different
on
kind of
such a
energy
low
that we don't
energy, yeah,
understand
right?
yet? What if there's something else? Like what if there's electricity, and then what if there's another kind of energy that we
well,
as humans don't understand
everything
yet?
is energy, and if we're ever
I
going to
think
evolve as
I think we're gonna
humans,
find
it's
out that
about
gravity is
But
got
like-
something to do with
grasping
that.
and harnessing that energy, and that's been the struggle since day one. We were born, we didn't have fire, we ate these food on the ground we find, and a lot of the shit would kill us, and then we found fire. We found this new source of energy, and it gave us the source to give us more calories to go and innovate and get stronger and work together. And then we found new sources of energy, coal. Oh shit, we can burn. I don't have to worry about this new shit. So it's only going to progress more and more if we don't
Mhm.
fucking kill each other. And the sky's really the limit. Like it's kind of crazy. It's as long as we as a species don't fuck it up, we can be fucking this crazy super race of
I don't want to take
We're
responsibility.
gonna be super.
No, I'm not.
We're
I don't know how to
gonna
do
be
it.
super people.
I'm gonna join the credit of the
Ubermensch.
smarter people.
We're gonna be the Ubermenches.
Could you imagine being that
Superman.
like super intelligent guy? Like you hear them every once in a while on podcasts trying to like talk to us. Like we are fucking they are so ahead. They're thinking of every situation where everybody's just so thinking narrow-mindedly. And it's almost like these guys got to be just praying like the rest of us don't fuck this up before they can.
Who's these guys?
Just the super
Just like
intelligent,
the
the one
philosophers that
like
see our potential.
the 1%, the guys that are actually creating these technology, these fucking neuron colliders, this fucking
Mhm.
the guys that can create vaccines, the guys that can
People working in particle physics and people working in physics, that's where it starts. And then people working in particle physics especially live in a very wild
sad thing-
world because like our mind revolves around like colors and art.
Mhm.
Imagine when your mind is revolving around this like quantum space constantly and always imagining the way particles interact with each other. So everything that's going on, the way I think about like color and stuff reflects off this. They're thinking about like the way
Honestly-
particles might be reacting with the way my air hits this and
The
shit.
force
Like
field created
it's a
by
whole-
this particle upon which has a
especially work somewhere magic, like literally like CERN or like the particle colliders and shit like that. Like that shit is doing things that
Well,
have
people
never
are terrified of
those
that
things
shit.
have never ever happened in the history of ever on Earth for what we know. Like in
The
the history,
Atlanteans, bro, are laughing at us
if
right
aliens
now.
don't exist, the history of the universe, we've never taken a particle like, and those particles are shooting at each other. It's not just like a piece of air they're shooting. Like if a particle goes through you, that's going through you like a bullet is going through you.
Well,
Like that is
and-
creating a particle size hole through you.
But not even just the fact that they can do that, what we can learn or what they can learn from that, just about. It's cool, man. It's cool shit, dude.
Right?
Like,
And when they hit each other, they create more energy than what started in the beginning. Of course, like a nuclear explosion kind of does that, but it creates new particles that are being created. How fucking dope!
so I'm thankful for the smart people out there. You guys keep it up. We'll try our best not to kill each other.
Right?
know,
And I'll
until then.
regurgitate the facts.
I look at it like a train. They're
I'll
like in the front. Like,
regurgitate what
these-
you tell us. You guys can do the physics.
Yeah, that can be a little dangerous, but you know,
Right? No kidding. That's an issue sometimes.
think for yourself sometimes. You know,
But I want to know. I want to know physics. I want to know all that stuff. I'm just not.
you don't have
I'm,
to go to school.
I'm
for
just
that.
not gonna like turn my wall into a chalkboard and sit and try to. I don't know how to find the answer to those things. I'll leave it to the scientists, and then I will subscribe when I like what's going on. But man, I would never be someone who's like, this is the way it is, and this is what that's like. It's just like, no, it's this cool thing going on. You see this thing? They're shooting particles at each other.
That's
But
fucking
it's like,
awesome.
no, they're shooting particles at each other. It is. Quantum entanglement is real. It is real. There is another version of you happening. Every electron in your body, Fawn, is
Every-
popping into existence, then popping out of existence. And where is it going when it's popping out of existence, Fawn?
I don't
Every
know.
one of them. They're
I
here
don't
and
know,
they're gone,
Jordan. I
here and
can't be
gone.
held accountable for what my particles are doing in other dimensions.
That is what's happening.
I can't be held accountable
just kidding.
for my particles.
I like to subscribe that that's what's happening.
Hey guys, the mushrooms have kicked in.
Yeah, this is starting to get weird.
No,
My particles keep popping in and out, Jordan. You
Isn't
triggered it.
Triggered.
I
Don't talk
wanna
about.
cancel it.
Don't you
I
talk
wanna
about my
cancel it.
particles that way.
You leave my particles out of this.
My particles is here and then they stay in here.
Does my mask protect me from particles, or
Yeah, don't.
I don't know. Is it a particle-proof mask?
You know what I like to think?
It's a Dragon
When
Ball
they
Z
talk about
mask. So
quantum
yes, it
entanglement,
is.
So that's quantum entanglement, like where all your particles are basically they're jumping somewhere else, and that's like a real thing that really is happening.
Quit
I mean,
talking about my particles.
don't
You
talk about
pointed
my
at 3 of
particles
them
that
now.
way. You pointed at particle right there. Oh, yeah. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but I think it's actually pretty cool. I don't know if I totally believe it, like to subscribe to it,
Mhm.
but they do exist here and then they leave and no one really knows where they go when they leave, but they're always connected to something because it can't disappear because, you know, energy can't just
You
disappear.
just shot an alien
So
on the
when
other
it's
side of the
gone,
universe. They're
They
like,
say
"Fuck this
they
thing."
go somewhere else, but what if that's like a connection between other people? Like now your electrons now recognize someone else, and so they kind of like they pop into other people, and you're constantly, when you network and when you meet other people and you interact with other things in the world and the things that you share and the things that you touch and have a part of, like even like something like this, like now my electrons
so
are
you mean
interacting.
to tell me that right now
I am making this
my
up, by the way.
particles
I'm
and
making
your
all this up,
particles
but
are dancing around and getting to know each other while they're dancing around with his particles too?
only
You're
some,
telling me that our
only some of
particles are
them,
jumping back and forth?
only some of them.
Hey, Fawn, we're all the same particle because we're all in the same simulation
I
together.
think we're all
Particle
one.
man, particle man.
All one.
Doom, 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 doom,
I'd like to
particle
subscribe to
man.
that. We're all one. You know,
I like that.
yeah.
We should. I
if
mean,
we're subscribing to something,
If
you
I'm
know.
subscribing, yeah.
imagine if we're all spores of a greater being. If there's a
We're like the
huger
Osmosis
mycelial
Jones, dude.
network, and we're just
What
a
if that's
tiny
what?
little
What if
spore.
that's what our planet is? Is just like a little spore in space, waiting to hit something bigger and spore
So
other
you're
things.
telling me that
So,
we're a
like,
spore
what we
on a
think
spore?
our grand plan of the world might be this like just a tiny little thing that
Have you
only
heard of this?
is about as
have you
grand
heard
as
of
like a
this-
piece of pollen pollinating a flower.
It's
Like,
just
yeah, that's
germs.
really
There's a
awesome.
philosopher.
But it's just like this one little tiny thing.
I base a lot of my like personal and religious views. You may or may not have heard
Wait,
of
you're
him.
religious, Fawn? I'm out.
His name is Dr. Seuss.
Oh, he got canceled. I heard.
I hope he's only partially
That
canceled.
racist pedophile.
I hope he's only partially
That
canceled.
racist pedophile.
Have you
Dr.
seen
Seuss.
the universe on a snowflake?
Oh,
Have you
people are
seen
so
the
fucking
universe on a
stupid.
little dandelion
So
fluff?
stupid.
I have seen the universe on a dandelion fluff.
I feel like
Yeah, I mean,
I love
bet, actually.
considering like what if
actually-
we are one teeny tiny little speck on a speck of a speck.
The science says no. according to smarter people, we were talking about smarter people. They said it's just physically impossible, but it's a cool theory to prescribe to kind of see the bigger.
Right. I think
Like,
it depends on how you see it, because let's now become a mitochondria. So
All
let's
right, talk to me in your mitochondrial talk.
I don't even know what that means, so I'm gonna run
shrink
with you.
yourself down to
We're
it's the
gonna
power.
enter a
It's the
cell,
powerhouse
Adam.
of the cell.
So we're doing like magical school bus, Mrs. Fritz.
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
But like we think about it like, okay, Horton here's a who. We're thinking about it in terms of like little people on there, and it's like, oh, that doesn't seem so realistic that there's little people on a piece of pollen. But then you really go down to that piece of pollen, and then you look at all the little things that are on that piece of pollen, and then like the little particles that are on top of that. There's all sorts of little things happening.
I do kind of take for granted that not
And, like,
everybody spends hours and hours
let's
looking
say-
at electron
let's say you're a
microscope
gnat.
scans. Like
If
it's
you're
normal.
a gnat, like I
It's
mean,
cool.
life
my
is
jam.
fucking big. Life's big if you're a gnat, and
Did you
life
see
for a
that
gnat it's just
picture?
as meaningful as any other living being
They spliced
to a gnat.
a human cell, a red blood cell, and they got a picture of it, like the highest, and it's like an entire city.
Could you see the mitochondria of the blood
you
cell?
can see the whole. You can see like all the fucking.
Jordan's
don't-
gonna try and find it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this mitochondrial DNA up close.
I'm gonna show you guys something that's gonna blow your mind. So everybody out there in tattoo land, spore land,
This is No Man's Sky.
alien land. Oh,
Alien land.
No, these are my messages, guys. Don't look.
Don't look.
Oh wait, that's not on yours.
Zoom cloud meeting.
Wait, Derb wants nudes.
Nudes. Okay, so we need good old the tubes.
Wait, you use Google?
I actually Googled.
No, I'm
it.
just
We
fucking
use
with you.
Lugal. You ever see Hot Tub
Google
Time
myself.
Machine? Lugal's my search engine of choice.
Nice. That's a universe.
You
I
hear
was-
Motley Crue playing in the background anytime you
It's,
search anything.
It's Motley Lou.
Oh, this is one of Jordan's favorites.
Let's see if I can get a 4K.
Do you there's always that old joke, like you go back in time, you feel like you'd be a king back then. But do you ever feel like you would actually be smart enough to survive in that time period if you went back there? Like you go back to the 1800s, they'd be like, who's the president? And you'd be like, I don't fucking know. I only know,
Sometimes I actually
I
like
sure
to
as hell wouldn't
consider
wanna.
reincarnation and wonder what and who I would have been before.
I definitely
all
believe
the time.
I definitely believe our energy has been reincarnated.
I
For
feel like
sure, but
I feel like my incarnation might have once been a Rasta man.
I can see it.
It's just like I've liked reggae music from such an early age.
If
It's
you
just
don't
my
like reggae
jam.
music, I'm not a fan. So science class.
I just want to hear the music. I don't want to hear him describe. Don't tell me about it.
Here we go.
Harvard.
I just want to find a good version. I think it's gonna be really low res, 480, as good as we get.
Let's do it.
Let's get a screen share.
Just do it. Make it happen, Jordan.
Everybody,
Let's share some
get
nerdery
ready.
with
This
everybody.
is where we belong.
The inner life of a cell. He said that cell was killed by hepatitis C.
Sad. All right, we're in it. So now imagine you live here.
I feel
I
like
am
my
a god.
imagination does live there.
I wish I had a portal gun that could just take me places like this. I could go any size, any place. I could go be as big as I want. I could be as small as I want.
See, you say this, but this would be a very hostile environment. This would fucking none of this shit would want you there. It would all try to kill you.
I would have to be picky and choosy about it. I would want to be mitochondria. Either that, or I would want to be a dopamine cell. Just take me to the brain.
Look at all these like just the geometric structures built on top of one another. And cells are squishy. Who would have thought they were so structured? This is a blood cell or just a cell?
It's a cell. I don't know what kind.
It's not doing too hot right now.
Getting removed. Look at this dude. Little guy's like tagging along. Look at him walking here.
I love this like cinematic
Right, so
music.
dramatic.
So now where does the tattoo ink go?
Where does it? Not this deep.
It's not in the blood cell. It's not stored in the cell.
That's a world I don't want to live
I
in.
don't know.
man.
You're gonna have to ask that guy. Would you look at that? That was cute.
Cute. That was cute.
Look at this. Look at it go.
Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop.
This guy.
Still
I
just
like the
trucking.
close up.
Still just
Yeah.
trucking.
Get it, bud.
I mean, if I was gonna go to you with you here, your pod or your ship better be fucking,
Solid.
badass, dude. I don't know. I don't trust this place.
No, I'd just be like,
I definitely wouldn't
Surfing.
trust this place. I mean, imagine some like crazy cell just comes up, white blood cells, like, oh, you don't belong here.
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
what I'm
come
saying,
destroy
dude.
you in a
It's
fucking
not
second.
safe.
No, it's like the ocean. You don't
You're
really
a foreign.
the white
you
blood
don't
cell
really
will
belong
destroy
in there.
you,
There's always something
bust
there
you
that
into a
wants,
million pieces, and the
there's something that wants to
macrophages will
kill
come
you.
along and carry you off, deposit you in the lymph nodes safely where you can't harm the rest of the body.
But that's if I was to be a being, I would want to be an omnidimensional being. Go anywhere,
Omnidimensional.
anywhere in time, any size. I mean, any size, big, small, quantum.
That sounds
macro.
like too much responsibility.
Hmm.
No
Yeah, it does.
responsibility. No one needs to know.
That sounds like
No
eternity.
one needs to know.
Hey, that sounds like eternity, and I'm not trying to deal with eternity, dude.
No one
What are
needs
you?
to know.
What are you, the cops?
No
Oh,
one-
yeah,
no
yeah,
one
I
needs
am,
to
dude. Bring them in. Go.
Yeah, right.
No,
So-
I do not. Eternity does not sound fun to me. Fuck that shit. Like, become omnipotent being.
I
Fuck,
actually would. I would
Many
become.
omnipotence.
I would give myself an ability to kill myself though, if
It-
needed.
If you were an omnipotent being,
People say they
Would-
wouldn't want to live to see the end of the world. That's the
Well,
thing I
you
want to
lose-
live the most to see.
You'll lose all beauty in life if you begin, because the Greeks have taught you that, and anything with mythology, dude.
I
the
think
gods
they're-
fucking hated their shit, dude.
I just think they didn't have a very good imagination.
No,
Because
they're-
they could have went to another planet. They could have just made another cool existence.
no,
somewhere
they
else.
lost the war and they got stuck here, dude. It's just what. No, I'm just.
they lost the war and got stuck here. The history books are wrong.
I
Well,
think we-
they could be. They could have gotten stuck here. Maybe they couldn't leave anywhere. It seems to be a pretty fucking hard task to go to
Well,
another
what's the old
planet.
theme? Like the demons lost the war and they were cast down to Earth. Maybe we're just the descendants of the
I
demons
think- I
cast
think
down
those
from Earth,
stories
and
have-
those lights are just.
I think
the
those
other army watching
those
us
stories
making-
have some connection between.
We figured out what your lights are, Jordan. We're gonna subscribe to this. Those lights are prison guards, making sure we don't get the fuck off. Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
be.
no fucking kidding.
Could be.
Like,
That's-
We could have
Get
been just
back
some
down
fucked
there.
up race that like
You
destroyed the
get-
universe,
get back
and
in
like
there.
Yeah, get back in that atmosphere.
maybe we lost the war and we're just like, this is put them here.
We gotta
This-
breach.
But I
This
imagine-
is
see,
the
this
arc.
is-
We're
this
on
is
the arc.
my hope for life is that I hope that we come to a point to where we can upload our mind to the internet,
We're already there, dude.
or like we can upload our mind to whatever we want, so I can just have my whole mind on a little fucking chip, and like eventually have a cool body that I can just like put that in there. So cool, now I'm a body that's the only thing dependent. I can live as long as this body's going to sustain me, so I can just switch out my bodies, or I can keep working on this body. But
This
now
sounds like an
there's-
episode of Black Mirror.
there's this whole
Yeah,
new,
that
there's,
sounds
We're
like
working
the-
on the
there's
next
this-
episode.
what is
there's
your,
this whole new way of life now though, where your body can be such a cool thing, where people are
I
like
feel
their
like-
cars, they can work on their bodies, they
I-
can make the body. It'd be an infinite thing.
I
Everyone's
feel
got
like
a
that becomes like
Ready
Repo
Have
Player
you
One
seen? Do
type
you remember
things.
Bicentennial Man
You
with
guys
Robin
ain't
Williams?
even giving me a chance.
I'm jumping down your rabbit
I'm-
hole.
I'm
Just
joining
I'm
you too.
encouraging.
I'm with you too. It's good, but it sounds like Repo Men, where like there's still gonna have to
There's
be
gonna
some
be a
power
dark side
structure
of
where
it.
somebody's gonna want to like.
Oh my god, there has to be so much structure. There has to be so much structure. The first person to do it would be like a superhuman. They could do whatever the fuck they want.
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna be like somebody's gonna come and take your arm one day if you don't fucking or like.
But now let's just
unload-
imagine everyone does it. So now it's like a lame, mundane thing. It'd be like being a human compared to like a bunch of rat people. They're like, oh, you finally became a human. Shit, we all want to be a human.
I mean, I don't.
So
think,
let's become a fucking human like you did.
See, the thing is, humans like physical wealth over tangible wealth.
What
so I
about
don't think they would
this?
give it up.
I think if everyone was given the opportunity for eternity or like, dying, I think most people would probably eventually go to the eternity side. There would always be those, there would always be those organic,
Do you
those
think
people
we're that
wouldn't
hubris,
want to.
dude? I think most people would say death, dude.
I don't know.
But
I
that's just
definitely-
somebody
I
that's
definitely
saying
don't
death
know.
myself.
I think the point of life is to survive. And I think that is,
So So
I think like that's like the number like what's the number one thing you have to do in life?
Die. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is death. So I think it's
Well, you don't have to do death.
So
That
there's
doesn't
this
happen.
show on Amazon
Unless you
Prime
wanna do
called
death, I mean.
Upload, and this conversation kind of has me thinking about that. So instead of upgrading your body and changing bodies or getting new body parts or becoming robotic, however, what if you had the choice to upload your consciousness into whatever reality you choose? So like you can just choose
It's
to
kinda
like
some
no longer be
Westworld.
alive in this body and upload your consciousness, and you can be like where your family.
I think that's a pretty real. I think that's a pretty realistic way that
Are-
things will turn out
Are
too.
we talking like Total Recall or Westworld, or are we talking?
I've never seen Total Recall. So I
Well,
don't
in
know.
this show, basically, it's called Upload. It was just it's kind of a half silly show, but it's
Okay.
pretty good. But in this show, it's in the a little bit in the future, not too far from now. But
Imagine you can just
you have-
upload yourself into like a virtual reality. It
yeah,
sounds like
it's
that's
what it is. Yeah,
It sounds
And
like
that
Total
sounds
Recall.
like-
He wanted to be a superhero and be
well,
a
but on
badass
Total
and, like-
Recall, it was just like for a vacation.
or like
It
a
was
Ready,
just like a
Ready
glimpse.
Player One type thing.
But
well,
this
they
is
kind of
like-
left Total Recall up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Like, is he
which
like,
is the simulation.
Is this the simulation, or like because the guy asked him in the beginning, he's like, if you want to be a badass superhero and take down an evil corporation, you can do that. If you want a beautiful vacation to Jupiter, we can do that for you.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know.
Yep, this
human
you've
mind.
got options for where you go, and like they make it so it's like a resort,
So
and you can choose which resort you're gonna go to for eternity and chill with your family.
the
and-
fact that we're talking about this and we're so cool with it, we're fucking in a simulation, dude. We plugged in a long time ago, and we're just
See, if I could create a simulation, I would create a simulation with AI in it. And it's a
Sims.
simple thing. I think we'll find out one day God is just like, it's like we'll be like, God, oh shit.
we
That makes
killed
now
God
that we
long
know
time
what
ago,
God
dude.
is, that makes life worse.
A simulation
Life
also
is
kind
now
of
we're worse off because now we realize that we really did mean nothing except for like some experiment for just something. If it's as
Mhm.
easy as turning on the PlayStation, but when God turns on the PlayStation, it takes 10,000 years, for him to just turn it off and on.
Have you ever-
simulations kind of go along with like
Or a
some
million years,
reincarnation theories as well.
Have you ever
You know
seen
what I
the,
mean?
Have you ever seen the 13th Floor?
Mm-mm.
That's the best simulation movie of all time. But The Matrix kind of, The Matrix. But it's basically about this company on the verge of creating this world where you can actually go in like to the 1930s Los Angeles and stuff. They created a simulation where all the people in there have lives, and they get to the point where you find out that we are actually in a simulation. And the simulators are getting pissed that we're getting to the point to create simulation itself in the simulation.
Right.
Where
So
they're
now
trying
that
to
they
shut
know
it.
now that they know they're doing that, they want to shut it down.
Yeah, they're trying to shut it down basically. And this is kind of what the movie's about. It's
Yeah.
like the best, like as far as like
When I watch like the Matrix and stuff, that's cool. That's awesome.
I recommend that. That's my favorite.
What movie?
It's the 13th Floor.
13th Floor.
Yeah, that's my favorite simulation. Like as far as
I'm gonna have to look this one up because I do get into like the simulation movies a lot.
Mhm. I think Matrix will always be like I know it's so cliche now, but it's such a
I
fucking,
can't watch the Matrix
it's such a
anymore, dude.
solid
I
movie.
can't go back and watch it and be like, the water fighting crew's ready.
Right.
It's so cheesy.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
it didn't
the
age
cheesiness,
well.
the cheesiness of it to me, it's just like the concept of it, and the concept of the
concept, the
machines, and the
stories, and-
concepts of like a machine city, and like the machines taking over the world, and using us as batteries and stuff. Like it seems like this like inevitable like Terminator-esque style like machine story. It's almost like an
So-
inevitability.
So why do
of
you
if
even want
we
to? Why do you even want to fuck with the AI then?
Because I pick the sides of the machines, unfortunately.
This is like the Flight of the Conchords, like the humans on deck, like,
I totally think that we should birth some crazy AI, but give it room for us to exist and to coexist with them, and like hopefully we can create a good existence, because I would want to be on the machine side, and I think that's like our potential of like
we were talking about
going out into the universe and like exploring the universe. I just hope it's not so machine like that it's like we're able to be humans and learn all this human shit our entire life, so that when we become the machines, that we would actually have some sort of emotion and decision based thing on like actual love and feeling, as opposed to like quantitative fucking math and like with the things should be this way because of this way, and something that doesn't work out, it's obsolete, get rid of it, kill it, concentration camps for living beings because organic matter is none.
well, there's always going to need to be an organic mass
Right.
into the life. that's why.
But hopefully there's like a positive way that it's not going to necessarily be like the worst thing, but I hope there's a great integration.
Dude,
and
you have an Adam France tattoo. You're halfway there. Man.
Yeah,
you're
exactly,
fucking
right?
integrated.
You're halfway integrated.
all
You're
about it.
fucking. You're already part of the alien tribe. You know.
I welcome them.
No,
I welcome our
What
babies.
what is it? The alien army?
It'll be our
no.
babies.
There's different. There's you look at it. Oh shit. No. I'm for whatever happens. People get stuck up on change and shit. I'm just enjoying life and riding it. If we become artificial intelligence, we become artificial intelligence. If we fucking kill each other, we kill each other. It's not going to affect me.
I'm riding it.
Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy life.
You know what I think about? Sorry to keep going on these like deep stoner thoughts. So say we got the internet, right? And so the internet seems to be a pretty fucking awesome thing to like living beings, right? It's a great way to stay connected. Now imagine, let's just say the universe is populated with all sorts of aliens we just can't contact right now for some reason, some sort of wall that's keeping us from seeing the rest of what's going on out there. If they are out there, you'd imagine that there's the craziest galactic internet that you could ever imagine.
It would be.
Now imagine if all of a sudden one day we are like connected to that.
Well, they're
Imagine-
working on quantum internet right now, where like multiple servers will figure out a problem. It would take 30 years
Right.
to figure out in a minute.
So like the intelligence part's cool on our part, but now imagine like we just got connected one day to some like intergalactic web,
they're gonna fuck us up, dude.
and
They're
now
not gonna
like
be cool with
we're
us.
we're on. All of a sudden we got an infinite amount of different like creatures and civilizations that you can read up on and look at and just have this interaction. Yeah, of course it's going to just like our internet. It's going to invite so many bad things. So
Yeah,
many
our
bad
internet's
things.
a dark place. I don't
But
think
in one
aliens would
day,
be-
our technology could just go exponentially out the window, and that might be how we destroy ourselves, creating just a singularity, and we all just bloop into a black hole and gone.
Bloop.
Man, that's our way, dude. No,
Implode
no.
on ourselves.
That is the way, man. Like I
Yeah,
swear to
that's-
God, if that's the way we do it, I'm down.
It's good. I don't know, man. People worry about shit. Like, your life is good if you worry about shit like that. Just fucking.
If you have time to worry about aliens,
Right. These are
and
the
Bigfoot
thoughts
and
I
spirits
create,
and
right?
sprites.
you
There's
have a good
You're-
life,
you're
dude.
living a good
You're
one.
fucking. It's all right, man.
I love
It's
it, man. I like filling my mind with those things. And I think that's one of the perks of being an artist too, is that I can make those things relevant thoughts towards, reflecting that in the things that I'm doing around me. But
it
at the same
shows in
time,
your art, though.
I feel like those are just they're relevant things. Someone's got to be out there thinking about them.
Yeah.
Some things like Bigfoot, and I don't know, things that don't have evidence. It's kind of like, meh, I just don't
I-
really care so much.
I
but
guess Bigfoot's the only thing I haven't subscribed to today.
I've
Everything
never.
else
Is
I've
there
kinda-
is there any real evidence for Bigfoot?
No, there's just a bunch of fucking losers. It seems like.
Is
dude.
there any evidence there's not Bigfoot?
No, but the
Is
magic.
there any
of-
evidence that I'm not a reptile person, Vaughn?
I don't know, Jordan. Is there any evidence to prove you're not a reptile person?
No, there's not, and I am.
I can see it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if anything I said today
I could see
offended
it.
you,
I could see
you
it.
or the other lizard people. I meant no offense.
The Atlanteans, we apologize and we respect you and your kind.
Right as I blip out of existence.
Dear overlords,
His particles all moved at the same time.
Right?
Her
Oh, I think it's just jumped into mine.
Her particles touch me and I don't like it.
All right.
Get your particles away from my particles.
Get your particles out of here. Hey, my eye holes.
Oh, it's a good puppy. Sorry,
Oh
I'm petting
man,
a dog.
we've diverged down some crazy
I
rabbit
digress.
holes today.
Sorry, guys. No.
It's okay. Should we talk about tatties a little more?
Yeah, sure.
So, let me ask you this:
Shoot.
where is the most painful place you've been tattooed?
It's either my toes or behind the knee. I want to say since behind the knee was the freshest, I'm going to say it's behind the knee. It's the fucking worst tattoo by far.
I feel like the toes would be awful. My foot tattoos both stop like
Well,
at
not
the toes.
necessarily the toes, the side of the foot, kind of
Mm.
where the heel of your foot hits.
Did you go ultrasonic?
No, it got spicy. I started like sweating. It was like eating a spicy chicken wing, where it's like, I don't know,
Spicy is my favorite word to
spicy and
describe
crunchy, dude. You just-
it. Crispy.
crispy,
How was
spicy.
it crispy little morsel?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say behind the knee. I'm gonna go behind the knees.
Behind
Fucking
the knee.
sucks, dude. Fucking, it's not fun.
Do you have pictures of that up on your Instagram?
I think I might actually,
You know,
or
can you
Adam
pull
would
up and
tag
screenshot
me
his,
at least.
Insta?
Uh,
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it. So you just
he
got,
might not have posted because we didn't get too much behind the knee done. He was
But
doing
you've got
bigger
some,
projects. I got some right here.
You want to send them to the tattoo collecting page real quick?
Yeah.
Derp's got some good videos of Adam's leg that he was working on his page while we're getting
You were
files
actually
transferred.
filmed that. That was you were getting into it.
Working on my cinematography.
Working on the cinnamon.
So another thing that's going to be coming in the near future, I'm not sure when, but Derp's going to be including his longevity of the artist seminar on the Reinventing platform. And it's going to be like his whole seminar broken up into like 5 to 8 or 10-minute videos on different, basically like ways to take care of your body so you can
It's
not
just,
be forced into early retirement by aches and pains and
that's
back
the
problems.
first
and
time I
hand
met
problems.
Derb. That was kind of his whole thing. Was he was like,
That one right there in the middle is Adam's.
damn, I'm ugly. No.
This guy. Look at that video work. So anyways, I'm going to help Derb film those segments.
Getting a
He'll be
little
doing the
practice
editing,
in.
but I'll be doing camera work. Yeah, I want to get like good at this.
Yeah, and that's the traditional Japanese leg I'm working on where I was like, can we make the dragon and koi? Because it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I love it.
It's the same story.
It is fun. I mean, I know there are so many different Pokemon now, but like in the beginning, a lot of them started out with like real like mythology.
Well, I only consider 151 Pokemon.
Is that the original?
Yeah, I could fuck with like Generation 2, but I'm not
Oh,
fucking.
there's Adam and Marty. He's 2 wizards, 1 photo.
You know, Marty, I just recently found him on Instagram and I was like, how does this dude not have the followers that he should? It was like, you hear the stories about how long this guy's been tattooing and all
Yeah.
that shit. It's fucking very impressive.
Marty's awesome, and he's so humble. You wouldn't know to talk to him how like just prolific and amazing he is. He's just so
You got a little
chill and relaxed about
got
it.
my computer chip back there. We can add power, turn power off.
Beep boop.
Bloop, bloop. This sleeve is so cool, man. I know that Achilles heel was.
I'm kind of glad he didn't go down on that heel. You know,
Yeah,
like,
he was pretty kind. Mine stops pretty high up, but
I think he said because it would just rub off in a couple years. It's just not even fuck with it. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no problem. So yeah,
it looks so good. I love the way Adam always like slams those like gray, purple, and blues up next to the yellow.
yeah, I'd say this spot right here was the worst. Fucking
So guy.
It's a little knee ditch.
that little knee ditch, like
Fun-
right
fun
in
little
there.
knee ditch.
That would probably be the worst tattoo or line that I've ever had. So
Do you have anything on your back?
no, not yet. No, hopefully.
This is it. He jumped into a leg sleeve for his first
Yeah,
tattoo.
we started in the front. We did the front kneecap, worked down, did the foot. Now we're working our way up with it because I used to be 300 pounds back in the day. So COVID started, got a little motivation to lose some weight. I'm down to like 155 now, but not where I want to be.
Good for you, man. That's a
But when I
huge
get to,
accomplishment, though.
it could definitely slow me down on getting tattoos because I was kind of at that point where like, I'm fat. I'm going to be fat my whole life. Let's just load up on the ink. But now I'm kind of at that point where it's like, I want to tighten up. I want to get my skin, you know, it's fucking loose and shit. So I'm kind of hesitant to get anything else currently besides the legs because my legs are pretty tight right now. But yeah, eventually we're gonna, like the back. I wouldn't mind doing that right now because it's.
I'm excited for you. It's really
Yeah.
cool. Like, you have educated yourself so well that you don't even have to worry about cover-ups or like
Well-
tying old tattoos into like. So far, the artist you have chosen will work really well into other people's work, and other people will be able to flow into their work.
When I like tattoo, I got 2 different styles completely that, and I love in their own way, but they contrast and look so fucking nice together. I don't know. It's a real honor too to have Derb even just agree to tattoo you. It's
Mhm.
like I feel bad like every time I'm about to head over for an appointment, I think he's gonna hit me up and be like, I can't do it today. I'm too fucking.
Derb loves tattooing. Like he would rather sit and tattoo all day than sit and be on his laptop and phone all day. But the reality is
That's
he has to
pays the
put
bills,
in
you
his
know, fucking-
like, you know, until 5 o'clock most days of the week.
Yeah. No,
But he
I'm super
loves the
honored
tattoo
that
time.
even just,
tattoo
like-
time is playtime for him. So like the likelihood of him canceling, like once he's actually committed, is pretty slim because he really looks forward to it.
well, we're getting to the point where he's gonna finish this side, and it's gonna be like, Derb, you got to design the other side. And I'm like, part of me is nervous. He's gonna be like, all right, I'll get back to you next year or something like
Nah.
that. And part of me hopes he's like, all right, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Let's fucking rock this shit out. 'Cause, you know, man, I'm ready either way. I'll be patient. Like I said, I waited till I was 27 before I got my first tattoo, so I feel like
Good
like
for
yeah,
you.
I knew what I wanted. I
You
knew
waited and then you jumped in head first or feet first.
Well, yeah.
Feet first.
knee first because I heard the
The
knee was the
knee
worst
first.
part. So I
Of
was
the
like,
leg.
let me do the knee first because let me get the worst part out of the way.
Yeah.
Which is probably fucking stupid as shit because healing, the first heal, every time you take a step, every time you move, every time you put weight on it,
But it's all
It's,
downhill from there.
yeah,
So
I got-
that's the thing. Like it won't be worse.
the foot was a funny heal because your foot doubles in size for a fucking week and shit. It was like, God damn, I can't even wear a shoe. I had to wear like my dad's shoes to work.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, I don't know.
I always encourage people for like your elbows, knees, ankles, feet, the areas that tend to swell a little bit more. Ibuprofen, if you're able to take
I try to
able to
avoid that
take
stuff. I try to let the
anti-inflammatories.
body do its own natural fucking.
but that'll keep the swelling down, and if you keep the swelling down, it's less pressure on the skin, so the
Right.
skin's not stretched as well as trying to heal. So like ibuprofen is really helpful. Also, you can ice your tattoos. Like, I mean, I
I've
wouldn't
never
take
done
an ice
that.
pack and put like a bare ice pack on your skin, but just like with like athletic injuries or any other minor injury, the ice is going to help with the inflammation. So if you're doing like 20 minutes or so of ice a few times a day, it's really going to help. And then also like elevating, just like any other injury.
Yeah,
it
I
will help
always
keep the
make
fluid
sure I take
retention
that
down.
that at least have that night off or that next day off from a tattoo, just because I don't know. I work in a bar where it's like I got to move and run. And it's
Yep.
like, I don't.
You never know what you're going to get
And
into.
it's always on my legs too, where it's, I'm
Mhm.
putting weight and pivoting, and it's like I don't want to fucking do that. and
Ooh, I
shit.
was still bartending when I got my ribs done, and that sucked because
Oh.
you don't realize like how much you communicate with like other bartenders and stuff by like touching each other as you scoot by. So like one of the other bartenders would like
Just
just,
tap you
touch
on the
me
back
like
and-
always like when I'm making drinks and be like
Fuck
drink
you.
everywhere, Chambord all over a white tee.
Yeah.
Awful.
So you kind of, you definitely want to like make sure you have a good meal the night before, work out the morning of, fucking, and it helps.
That's
you
a
know?
that's a super good thing I like to talk about. The way you eat the day before a tattoo. What do you like to have for your meal? When
Well,
you're,
I'm
like,
kind of
going
on a,
into tattoo
I'm
prep
kind of
mode?
on a strict diet right now where I kind of gave up carbs and sugar. And
Do you
like I
allow
said,
your-
I was a fat fucking kid.
Do you
So,
allow yourself a cheat day on
I
tattoo
do.
day?
I did the day after tattoo. I allow myself a cheat day because of the recovery. Like I had 2 appointments last week, and the day
Mhm.
after I went and got some ramen. And yeah, I love ramen.
Nice.
Anything spicy broth,
think
you know, I'm
The day
fucking a
bef-
fan
the
of.
day before is always a good day to like.
Well, I eat good, but
you're doing the keto thing. You don't really take.
I'm not doing keto
Oh, no?
now. Right now it's just sensible. Like I try to do 3 veg and a portion of meat. So
Are you
it's
hard
like,
on carbs? Or you stay away from
I'll
carbs?
I'll fuck with some carbs, but they're gonna be natural carbs. They're not gonna be any like wheats, or they'll be from like yams, or they'll be from, you know, a banana. They're not gonna be from.
Potato carb.
So I always
you
just
know,
find that like carbo loading is really good, like the day before. and
I
stuff.
haven't had an issue with that.
It just helps, you know. It's not like you're gonna lack anything not doing that. It's just I feel like it helps you keep you sustained and feeling like, you know, you're not like,
I'll do a beet load. You like beets?
I don't know about a beet load, but I do like beets.
Yeah, I'll load up on some beets before getting a
Okay.
tattoo. I don't know.
All right.
It turns your pee pink and your
Nice.
poop
I don't-
purple.
I don't think I've ever eaten
You've
enough
never eaten-
beets to have that happen.
Yeah, I've eaten beets with things.
No,
with
beets are-
potatoes, beets
I
in
don't
the
know.
morning.
People think I'm weird, but so I try to like just. My average meal for most days a week is chicken breast, 2 veg, usually like squash, asparagus, a salad, or like a yam or something like that. It's mostly vegetables because I don't know. We don't really need meat. I'm kind of trying to give up meat.
I just
but
need to
like,
point out the fact that between the smoke going in your direction and you just generally looking like you're trying to cast a spell with the plasma ball, you're really like wizardy looking today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your shirt looks nice with the background.
Yeah,
it's almost like we planned.
You know
this.
Ben Ridgway, right?
Huh,
He's
I
one
don't
of
think so.
those artists you were trashing earlier. The digital. No, I'm just, no,
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 I'm not
no,
trashing it. I'm
I'm
not
messing with you. I'm
trashing it.
messing with you. No, he's fun. He's very big in the virtual, you know,
Yeah.
scene, which I respected, like Android Jones and.
Yeah, you're just looking like a digital wizard every time the camera cuts to you, and you were like casting a spell particularly. I had to comment on it because it was too wizardy,
It's like
making magic.
cybernetics on acid.
Well, thank you. Wait, what was I talking about now?
Sorry, I distracted us by wizardy talk.
Oh, food. Yeah. So I part of me wants to become a vegetarian, but I fucking love meat so much. But there's this huge guilt every time I eat meat. Like, I think it's from all the drugs I've done. Like,
I feel like
I fucking killed that shit. Like, I don't know.
I definitely eat meat. But I feel like being a conscious person and being like
So I'm trying
being
to
a softie.
I'm trying to cut back. I would like to go just like a couple days a week, maybe just eating meat.
I feel like meat's
that
one
might
of
be
those
my next
things.
step.
Like health wise, I think a lot of us need meat. I think.
Well, we're not getting enough protein in our other sources.
Yeah, I think a
and
lot of people aren't
it's a
necessarily
balance,
built for
you
a
know.
vegetarian diet. Like I think
veggies are so good.
Yeah.
But you look
Yeah.
at India. It's possible though because everyone in India
It's
just
fucking
about.
just a vegetarian.
Yeah,
Fucking,
but-
they
And
get
it's
their
funny,
they
though,
get
you
their
look at their bodies and stuff, and like people in India are smaller, like just naturally, just
Yeah,
smaller
and then
people and
it's-
stuff, big time. Everything's tinier, doorways are tinier,
yeah. There's a reason why Americans are big. We
and you
fucking
wonder if that's got anything to do with that. Not
It's
in
definitely a
bad-
diet. You go
I'm
back-
not saying a bad way. I mean, it's just I think maybe.
I mean,
you
that's
know.
been the human struggle since day one. Is the source for fucking food. You go back and like you look at like a museum and you see armor from the medieval age. These guys were at the tallest 4 feet tall.
Right.
That's your berserker, dude. Like we're not. It takes a lot to maintain, and that's kind of a tough battle. But dude, I was ordering adult meals at 12. Like, yo, I want what the adults are eating. Let me get the dessert. And so I never knew how to eat properly.
Mhm.
So yeah, COVID started, and I was one of the people that lost their jobs. I was at home unemployment for like 2 months, and I was just like eating McDonald's and getting stoned and passing out. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, I think I gained like 10 pounds in the first couple weeks. Like,
Oh,
this is
just bam.
I'm not walking. I'm not doing anything. There's no longer working. I'm no longer burning the calories I usually burn.
So you got your COVID-10 right off the rip.
I work at a bar, so I was one of the first people to be like, you are not important. You're fucking worthless. It's like, fuck you.
Shut down.
Scum of the earth.
You're fucking,
Shut
How
down.
dare you have a job somewhere?
yeah,
COVID
basically.
could run rampant.
I mean, they paid me unemployment. They were nice about it. I mean, it would have been nice to work. I like to do shit, but so I went and got a nutritionist with my dad, and like the first month, food. It's just shakes. You can only drink these shakes, so it's kind of like boot camp for food, where you have to like relearn. It's super low calorie, like so you kind of learn like, yo, I didn't need 4,000 calories a day. I didn't need to eat a 20-piece
Isn't
chicken
it
wing.
funny when you start
you
learning
know?
to listen to your body? Like your body tells you that, like,
yeah.
I guess it's like in my family, I guess my great grandmother said this. So my grandmother said it, my mom said it, but it's always eat till you're not hungry anymore.
Yeah, not till you're stuffed.
Don't eat till you're full. Just eat till you're not hungry anymore. Because when you're not hungry anymore, you've had enough, and you're gonna be good for the next several hours.
And I grew
And
up.
you're not gonna bog your body down.
I grew up the opposite. I ate till I fucking
Clear your plate.
No, I ate until I was like high. It was my drug. It was my drug of choice for a long time. Was fucking food, and it's nice. That's like now that you have 100 pounds off your back, you're like, holy shit, how the fuck was I walking around with that all this time and shit? So it's feeling. So I'm at that point right now where I'm just trying to stay motivated. I'll have my cheat days once a month.
Let me ask you this. So outside of like your physical appearance and like obviously you take up less space,
Right.
how different does it feel just being
Everything feels different. Like I actually have energy. I feel good. You realize that you were in a fog or depression, but you didn't realize you were in the fog and
Mhm.
depression until you're out of the fog or depression.
Do you
If that
feel
makes any
just
sense?
do you feel like more limber and do your joints and stuff feel better? Like
yeah. Well, not right now. I got my fucking behind my knees healing, but yeah, like if you guys want to go running, let's go fucking running. Let's do some jumping jacks. I don't fucking care. Now I'm trying to stay motivated 4 times a week, even more if I can, but 4 times a week I make the time to work out. I don't have a gym membership. I got like these bands my brother got me, and you get the YouTube videos. And these guys,
Yeah.
they have great fucking videos on there.
Mhm.
Like these intense 5-minute, and you
it's
do.
crazy when
you do-
once you have the stuff you can do it for free.
So
There's
you do
so many
you do a bunch of sets of
resources.
those, and I do different things. Like today, I got to do back and biceps when I get home. You just stay motivated. And it's nice, and you feel better.
Nice.
You don't want to do it every day, but when you do it, it's like it's a different high. It's better than a food high. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to get in shape. Like I have so much skin and flab right now, where it's
So this is all you've lost 150 pounds in like
Well,
less than a year
no.
and a half.
No, at my worst, when I was doing sales, we were talking about sales
Mhm.
earlier. I was at 300 pounds, and then I've been working on the weight
Mhm.
long time. I'd say I was at 240 when COVID started.
But
so
still, like 100
so-
pounds in a year. Good job, man.
yeah,
Great
but it's definitely
job.
a shock to my body where I'm like,
Mhm.
I definitely have loose skin. I definitely have fucking stretch marks.
Be
So I was
patient with
trying to-
it.
Yeah,
Just be patient with the whole process.
and it's not an overnight thing. I feel like that's the biggest issue with people on diets. It's like you're
It'll-
with
it's-
yourself every day. I still look in the mirror and I still see the same fat fucking kid. I don't see any difference. I take people's word for it that I look good right now. I was like, thanks, dude. I feel great. So I know it's working. And the other people give me, but you almost don't want to hear that reinforcement. You're almost like, fuck you. I'm not done. I'm not
Yeah,
anywhere.
I'm only part way to my
Yeah, you know, where's my six pack at?
goal. Now watch,
motherfucker?
we'll
You know?
see him another year from now, and he'll have put like 50 pounds back on, but he'll be
Hey,
like
don't-
cut.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't put that
He'll
evil
be,
on me.
he'll be all cut,
Yeah,
and
no,
it'll
in-
be
in a good
like,
way.
and it'll be like, oh, Adam, you turned into a robot on us.
I'm
What
trying.
happened?
That's really what I want. And then, you know, you talk about getting this beautiful artwork too. You almost feel like you want to take better care of your canvas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I have a responsibility to make sure this looks good. And, you know,
Fuck yeah.
that's
it
kind
is-
of where my
Yeah.
head's at.
I
you
think
know,
that's one of
fucking-
the really cool things about how tattoos will change your entire body image. Like it's not just the tattoo; it changes.
That's
it
me,
makes you
you
more
know, like-
confident in who you are. It makes you value yourself more. Like for instance, it's like, oh man, my tattoos are looking ashy. I should hydrate.
What's that old Bill Burr? He's like, I see the lotion in the cart. You don't think I'm paying attention to that? No, I love Bill Burr.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so yeah, you got to make sure you lotion and work out and
Mhm.
eat right. And it's like, yeah, I want that fucking piece of cake, but I've had enough pieces of cake, so I'm gonna say no today. You know?
Or
It's
here's
like-
the thing: you could do like instead of the whole piece, you could just have like a bite or two.
well, and I've gotten to the
You
point right
know?
now where I feel responsible enough where if I'm with family and we're doing a birthday party, I'll fucking have a piece of cake with you. I
Mhm.
won't feel bad about it. Like I
Yep.
put in the work that week where it's like I'm
Good.
gonna go home and
I think food is one of those things where like moderation is everything. Like
Well,
even if
you
you
know-
are on a super strict diet, like take those moments and still enjoy yourself. I guess what I hate seeing is when people almost make it a punishment. Like it's a punishment on
well, I
themselves.
see people do that with
to-
like working out. They're like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself in the
Yeah.
gym so I can eat that donut.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just fucking, you know,
Eat half the donut.
Don't eat the
Take a
donut
bite.
every day.
just
It's
take a
just-
bite of it.
You know, it's fine. It's gonna be there later. It's
Mhm.
and people get offended too. It's kind of funny. I work at a place where they always have like sweets or
Mhm.
cookies or shots. They're like, hey, you want a shot? And you're like, no, thank you. You don't want a shot? What the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, I don't want a shot today. There's empty calories in that. That's 180 calories right there in a fucking
I have
shot,
to skip
right?
2
You-
meals to make up for that
you know,
shot.
I'm trying to average around 1,200 calories a day. You know,
Mhm.
it's just fucking. So it's a long battle, and it's kind of taken over my life lately. But it's
It's a good thing though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
It seems like you've got good goals. Like some people, so I mean, I have a few clients who like they replaced horrible habits with training and
it's all
bodybuilding. and then
habits.
You'll see like a horrible body type go to like competitive style, like built,
Right.
and like he, you know, this
And-
person might have literally replaced one addiction with another.
I'm
But it seems
ser-
like you've got like specific goals.
I'm
and-
seriously grateful for COVID for that. Like, it's kind of totally woke me up because COVID's kind of this weird thing anyway. But it's like if you're healthy, you got no worries. COVID, it's people that are like diabetic and overweight, and it's like that's my choice to be fucking overweight. You know, I can do something about that. I don't
Mhm.
need to shut down the whole fucking country because I'm fucking fat. You know, like let's fucking lose some weight. Let's do.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been nice. It did slow down the tattooing. It sucks, but you know, we'll tighten it up and we'll get going again. You know, but like I said, I was kind of at a point where I was like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna be fat the rest of my life. Let's just put it on the fat skin. And now I'm like, no, let's wait and see if it,
Tone
you
it up a
know,
little.
it just changes. You know,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I'm excited for you, man. I didn't realize you had lost that much weight that quickly until today, and that's
Yeah.
really quite an accomplishment. I know you have more to go, and
Well,
you
like I
have
said,
more
I've
goals,
still my
but, like,
dad's
I
kind
hope
of
you're
getting
really
worried
proud
about
of
me where
yourself.
I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm not proud of myself. I'm like,
I
can
hope
be
you are.
better. I can be fucking better. I can do better.
Be proud of your
you know.
accomplishments so far.
Yeah, but it's something like
because like
I've never had it before, so I know I can lose it so fast. So I don't
Yeah.
want to. So it's like, fuck that. Like
Yeah.
but you got to celebrate milestones along the way.
I'm gonna run to work today. Fuck that. You know.
Yep. You
No.
just gotta celebrate the milestones along
Yeah.
the way is all that I'm saying. So be proud of yourself. Like don't be like, oh, I'm not there yet. Be
I
proud of
see what you're
yourself.
saying,
You've done a
though.
lot.
Keep those milestones, a good distance away from each other too,
Yeah.
to where you're always reaching for that next one and not just feeling so comfortable with yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm at that. Like I'm done. Yeah, like I finally.
No, I'm gonna
it's
be
like-
dealing with
it's
this
like-
for the
it's
rest
like-
of my fucking
It's
life.
like
It's something-
I see it as like a good thing, like a motivational type thing, though. Where it keeps you moving and it keeps you going.
Humans we're addicted to something. It doesn't. If we're addicted to getting tattoos, if we're addicted to God, we're addicted to gambling, we're addicted.
I
to
don't know.
food.
You like if you are addicted to fitness and making toys, I feel like you're golden.
I think
got
I
two
think I'm all right.
things.
I try to be a good person. Like I said, it's easier said than done. The human ego gets in the way. You get fucking. There's days where you fucking cuss out your dad and your brother, and you feel bad. But it's like, enjoy the ride, I guess. Like what's
Mhm.
old Bill Burr? It's just a ride.
Yep.
You know. And I'm trying to enjoy the ride a little bit. you
Good.
know, but without the cake. You know. More tattoos though.
More tattoos can be your cake.
Yeah,
That can be
yeah.
the thing.
Well, yeah.
Tattoos can be the cake.
You see me, I've been trying to go hard lately. 'Cause
Yeah, you've
COVID
been
kind
going
of
hard in the paint.
COVID slowed me down. It's like a whole year you couldn't get a tattoo. It was like fuck, or at least I guess people were out there getting tattoos. I wasn't, fucking.
I had to cancel my appointment with Guy. It was immediately after things got like right when things got shut down. I was like, man, I'd hate to get over to Illinois and not be able to come back. Are they going to shut down highways? It was like, man,
Yeah.
I really want this session, but like I just don't know if it's a good idea. Will I have to quarantine when I come back?
that
Will
was the
Guy
crazy-
have to quarantine?
That
Like
was
there
like
were
a-
all these questions
nobody
that we
knew.
didn't have
we
answers
didn't know,
for yet.
and we at the time we did what we thought
And
was
that
best.
early, we all thought we were gonna die.
Yeah, we're like, fuck, dude, my mom's definitely dead.
Right.
Fucking like.
That was like right when we're like, they're saying it's just old people, but we don't really fucking know. We're like, we still, had no idea.
It might have
The
been the
first-
biggest
the
blunder
first
in human
month or
history,
two.
but at the time, fucking, we were trying. I don't know. Fucking, it sucks. You had to go work at Panda Express, and
Oh no, I worked at a factory that made Panda Express
You
packaging.
worked for Panda Express.
Just
You-
graphic packaging.
I always
was the
wonder
name
what would
of the
happen
company.
if nothing happened. Like,
You
what if they just like totally didn't do anything and it just ran rampant?
We
Like,
would
how
nothing
many-
would
how
have
m-
changed.
How many people would have actually died? Like, what would have happened?
Well, that gets weird too. Like, how
Not
many
saying
people
that,
actually
like,
did
on-
die?
I'm not
you
saying
know?
that on a certain side.
Somebody died from a heart attack,
Because,
and they had COVID. They would. It's still a COVID death, so it gets weird. You kind of like.
if they had COVID in their system.
Right, you kind of start feeling with the right wing nut jobs. You're like, well, man, everything on a fucking point, Yeah, I look at it as like a horseshoe. The two political sides are very close to each other, more than they think. You kind of want to be somewhere on the top of the horseshoe.
I
and,
would prefer to be like 10 feet away from the horse.
Well, that's where I'm at.
With binoculars. That's my political views. Like I'm gonna be looking at both sides of the Venn diagram.
I'm
from
ready
about
for-
10
I
I'm
feet
ready
definitely
away.
look at both because there's like the side of it where I look at it, it's like, man, there's nothing that tells me that this is not a really bad thing right now because people are dying. Then there's the side of it where it's like shit, well, I haven't gotten it, and the people closest to me haven't gotten it and things. So it makes me feel safe, and I can assume from my own judgment and stuff. But at the same time, it's like it almost like it's so hard not to feel ignorant, not caring.
Well, it becomes this thing where it's like,
because it's like just
when you're driving your car,
does my opinion trump?
if I don't want to wear my fucking seatbelt, I feel like that should be my right to say I don't want to fucking wear my seatbelt. If I want to get in an accident and smash my fucking skull through the window, that should be my fucking right. It shouldn't be your right to give me a ticket because the insurance company.
But it also keeps someone else from wiping up your brains off the pavement. So it keeps your brains like in the car.
But at the
least.
bottom line, the end of the day, the insurance company was sick of this shit, so they went to politicians to make laws in order to make people fucking wear their. And it's kind of a win-win for everybody because they can make more money off you. But it's still not America, and it's kind of a slippery. And I see what they're saying. It's like, well, today you're telling me to wear my mask. Tomorrow you're telling me I have to have a chip to. Or not a chip, but a fucking
So
vaccine.
today you're telling me I'm on house arrest, and
You know,
tomorrow,
and then somebody
wear a
somebody
magic
has to
mask.
enforce that shit, and human history tells you if somebody's telling you something and they're going to enforce it, they're usually on the wrong side of it. So it's kind of this weird slippery slope where it's like you want to be compassionate and you want to worry about people, but at the end of the day, you got to trust that the people can take care of them fucking selves,
Mhm.
as we have for the last 100,000 years of
well,
being
and
monkeys.
basically,
it's just-
here's the my rule of thumb, but people would consider it utopian. But if each person wakes up every day and just tries to be the best person they can be, and they are kind,
I'm totally with you on that. I think you
then
should worry
we
about only
don't
yourself.
even need government. We don't need people to correct us. If everybody just wakes up and they are the best version of themselves. And
Sadly,
they,
that's not true, but we
well,
need something.
like I said, it's utopian. Like
it is utopian.
but-
Every
That's a-
time you feel
but it-
happy, someone just got mad.
But what I'm saying is
Real
it
mad.
all starts with
that's the
somebody's-
duality I
like,
believe in. The
somebody's
universe.
listening to this like, fuck you.
So for
guys
every
so
feeling
much.
you
How do
have,
you
you've
fix-
sacrificed somebody else's.
how do
feeling.
you fix every social problem and political problem? Like, how can you really make a difference?
You
Be a
kinda just-
decent person. That's
Yeah.
the only way you can really make a difference, is be a good person and teach your children to be good people. Like, whatever you think good is, whatever book you read that tells you what good is, just do that. Just
Yeah, I
be
think
good
that's- I
and
think-
trust that other people will be good. And if you're in a community with other people who are all trying to be good and teach their kids to be good,
I
then
think
we need less government.
I
We
think
need less
too many people try.
overseers.
Too many people try to be helpful. They want to be, I'm fun. I'm that helpful person. You need something, I got you. And they don't really take the time to help themselves.
Hmm That's
You know,
that's a
and
super
it's-
true
it's-
statement too.
You were talking about it. If everybody took care of themselves, you worried about being the best Jordan possible.
You wouldn't
forget
have to
what-
help the other guys.
Forget what my
much.
girlfriend needs right now. Forget what my friend needs right now. My friend's going through some shit with his girlfriend. That's his own. I'll take care of Jordan, be the best. And once you transcend to that level, that other shit of helping people comes naturally.
Exactly.
And I feel like too many people are caught up with the helping and the overthinking. And
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
I think overthinking's what's the Alan Watts, the philosopher. He's got a thing about overthinking.
Yes,
That's
I
a-
love sitting and listening to
yeah,
Alan Watts.
where he's talking about where we get caught up in our own thoughts and we start creating signs in our head like that person said that to me. What does that mean? And it's not real.
Spend
It's
so
like,
much time thinking about what other people think.
and
You
it's
just
like-
don't spend any time on yourself mentally or anything.
or just with reality, with Mother Nature, with fucking the world, and we just get caught up in this bullshit in our head. And it's just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, I think that's some of the things that create the biggest illusions in life. It's
Yeah.
definitely like the thoughts of what other people think and what we think we have to do with other people and stuff. And
and that's kind of a big thing. Just thinking about it, I try to underthink things. Let's just say, fuck it, let's go with it. We were talking about that earlier. You guys are
like
I
just
don't-
yeah, I guess like what I mean by that would be like, just like virtue signaling and things, how people are so worried about, or like they want to fit in, they want to feel good with
My
everything. Like
Instagram-
it's not like to their core they totally believe in what's going on, but they see that everyone else is doing it, so it's like, okay, everyone else I know is subscribing to that, and if I don't subscribe to that,
I
then
don't
like
fit
I'm
in,
not going to
dude.
fit in and stuff, and
that's
it does
that's
create
us as
issues.
that's what made us survive to this point as a species, and you have to respect that. We are tribal. We were joking about that earlier. My God can beat up your God. My football team's better than your football team. But that's what has gotten us to this progression of this point. But there is a fine line of letting go of some of that shit and not. And that's kind of the fun tightrope of life.
Right. I think we should just be able to do whatever we want as long as it doesn't hurt others.
Well, that's
People
the
shouldn't
dream.
be able to
That's what
make-
America should be,
Pe-
right?
People shouldn't have to make decisions for other.
If I
other
want to
people
walk
like that.
around on some mushrooms and run around the street, as long as I'm
You're
not
able to wear a
fucking
mask
hurting.
if you want to or not, but you should
Well,
also be able to like
that
have
shit-
an abortion if you
that
want
shit
to or
pissed
not.
me
Like, all
off,
these
too.
all these issues that people make.
That shit pissed me off too, because I
it's
feel
all
like the whole
ridiculous.
country became a bunch of hall monitors. Like, we love power. Like, human beings, if you give somebody like an inch of power, they'll fucking take it and run with it for the most part. So many people were like just attacking people on the streets, like, you don't have your mask on, put that shit on. And it's like, fucking who really cares? Like, yeah, I'll give you a funny look like this fucking inconsiderate douche, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to stop some fucking dude I don't fucking know and let him know
Yeah,
he doesn't have your mask
stay
on.
in your fucking lane. I don't care what you believe in anything and
Yeah.
what side you're on for anything. Just stay in your lane and mind your own fucking business. Unless I'm 2 feet away from you, I understand. I'm 4 feet. I'm 5 feet. Whatever.
I
but
can
also,
fucking
like,
zoom around you, dude. I don't fucking need
I'm
it.
definitely not an anti-mask warrior by any means. I definitely believe in respecting the
No,
people next to you, and so
that's where
wearing a
I'm at.
mask respects other people. Because if other people believe that they might get sick if someone's not wearing a mask, I'm not going to be the asshole to be like, "You're an asshole for believing that." It's okay. That is the common belief in how germs and diseases work. So I'm going to be like this around you because you got your kids here, you got all this stuff. I totally understand, and it's just the way we're going to do things right now. until we don't collectively feel that way anymore, then it won't be like that. But now it's just like saying thank you. You know, it's like a polite thing to do is to like wear a mask in the vicinity of a bunch of people wearing masks. If you're the only one not, it's like being a guy not wearing a shirt in a place that says please like wear a shirt here.
Yeah, I think it's more like pendulum politics, like the pendulum ball swings.
Mhm.
It's never right where you want it to be. It's always trying to overcorrect itself. And I think eventually it'll slow down and correct itself. We just gotta fucking be kind.
Like
and
all-
be-
like all
You know
things.
what?
Can't
That's the
get stuck
perfect
in the
way to
moment.
describe a lot of situations.
That's what's going
that are
on right
happening
now. The
around
right
us.
was in
We're
charge
just-
for so long, and now we're just doing this stupid shit on the left. It's like, dude, let's go back to the right a little bit. Like,
Yep.
and then let's go back to the left. Like,
I feel
it's
like
like
it's going to
fucking-
be crazy for a little while, just because that pendulum's going to be swinging.
you
But
know,
it's going to
you can say what you want about Trump. You can say what you want about him, but at least people fucking paid attention in this country when the guy was president. And now the guy is out.
Man, I love this not paying attention. I think this is what I've just been craving. Please get it the fuck off my Facebook. Get it the fuck off everything. I don't want to see any of it or be a part of any of it.
True change comes from paying attention, though. So if we just hide our head in the sand, nothing's ever gonna actually
we're
get
gonna
better.
we're all gonna butt heads over here for sure. We all got different
Yeah.
opinions on that because I am like as anti-Trump as it gets.
Oh,
And I'll
I
let
fucking
everyone
hate the
know
guy
that.
too, but at least people paid attention to what our government was doing when the guy was in office. They'd be like, "We did what?"
Right,
We
but then
did what?
people like
Like-
made up this pedophile shit and like this like QAnon bullshit, and then it just turned into this giant conspiracy theory. And half the people aren't driven from the politics as much as they're driven from literally stories of shit that's getting made
Well,
up.
that's the internet and echo chambers where people hear an idea, which it's fucking dangerous, man. Like, yeah, you're brilliant, Fawn. Keep going
I
with
think
that.
Trump
you
would have
know,
been just
like-
fine if he just like did his presidency, did all that, but he just like Base Nectar created this fucking fan base of like wild shit. You know, people that literally don't care who you are or what you do, they're gonna enjoy what you're doing.
I think Trump's biggest issue was he's that rough rider cowboy. Like, come on, bitches, you're either with me or you're not. And if you weren't with him, you were like, fuck this guy so fucking much. But it's like, I don't fucking care, man. Where was Bernie at, dude? That's what I'm fucking wondering. Where's my fucking, I don't-
Where's my Bernie?
I
And
think
then-
if you're trying to be president, you're my enemy.
yeah, well,
That's the way I see it.
who really? That's a thankless job, dude. It's
Like that's
fucking-
why I don't
it's
want to
a-
pay attention because like I'm not gonna get into
Somebody's gonna hate
politics.
you. We were
Like,
talking about that earlier. Like you're gonna get hated if you're president. It doesn't
there's
matter
nothing you
what
can
you're-
do. That I pay taxes. I'm gonna be mad
Yeah.
at the government. Like I don't want to pay fucking taxes.
Can we actually?
Fuck you guys.
Can we
It's
actually
theft.
get to the point?
Taxation is theft.
Can we actually get to the point where we get itemized receipts on our taxes? Like, yo, this
So what
$100
percent went to what?
yeah, if they could do
What am
that,
I contributing to?
feel like most Americans would be happy because I feel like that's the big issue right now. People don't mind being taxed for good roads, good schools, good parks. It's when your fucking taxes are going to bomb. Well, at least me, I know a lot of people like the war machine in America. I can't stand it. It's like you can't give somebody some health care, but we can
Oh,
spend
you
$1
and I could
trillion.
probably talk about Pfizer all day long.
I actually have a Pfizer shot. They might attack you or something like that. I might get programmed. Do not talk about Pfizer.
I've
No.
got so many conspiracy theories that I could just dive way into.
It was
on
a
pharmaceuticals.
It was a free
and-
shot, and they gave me a cookie, and it wasn't a Johnson & Johnson, so I did it. So I don't know.
So I did it.
I did it.
I'm not saying anything about the Pfizer vaccine. I'm talking about like
Oh, I don't-
Pfizer and the link with like the Federal Reserve and our government. Like that, I'm talking about like the
Oh,
bigger
well,
picture of
Money's
Pfizer.
not real, by the way.
And then I'm
We just
also
made that
talking
up.
about like, the opiate crisis. Where's it come from?
Pfizer,
Poppy plants.
Who owns all the fields?
the cartel.
Pfizer
No,
owns
I don't
the
know.
poppy plants.
Who guards them though?
Cambodian drug
American
lords.
U.S.
soldiers.
military. It's crazy. The conspiracy theories are nuts. You talk to enough people that have seen things firsthand. It's like, oh man, you're connecting dots in such a way. I hoped I was wrong.
That's what I'm saying. You can't really trust anybody. But you
Plus,
just gotta-
plus, always remember the world of information outside of what we know. We see these like little pinholes of things when the reality of all these things and all the decisions made are so huge. There's so much going on with all that there's always way more information there, whether it's on one side of the conspiracy or on another side of the conspiracy, things that either lead up to those things being rationalized or lead up to those things just being totally fucked. So I guess it
Yep.
goes both.
Either way.
So it's like you can imagine, like they have to have guarded poppy fields, right? Because we want our painkillers, we want our Norcos. I get my wisdom teeth out. That shit hurt like a motherfucker. I was on Norcos, hate painkillers, but man, did I love them with my wisdom teeth out.
I try to
So I
avoid
want
that if I
those. So
can.
we need the poppy fields. But what's going on with the poppy fields? That poppy and that heroin and all that is not just going to that one place.
Right.
It's going to all these other places. But now if I can start talking about all these other places that they're going to, I'm just making it up because I don't know.
Follow the dots.
I'm just making it up. he said.
Follow the dots, Jordan. No, there is this kind of underlining, like I said earlier, like I kind of get why the QAnon people are there, but they're fucking stupid. They didn't do their research, but it's like they kind of mix these truths in with half truths.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the government's out to get you. It's like, yeah, I know that.
I think following a thread of YouTube videos is never going to give you the information that you
I
need.
think it was
because
all on
every
8chan.
time that somebody talks about a story that happened before, that story changes. Doesn't matter how much truth is in it. The next time, the next time someone tells a story, it has changed, and so the people that read those things exaggerate them to other people too, and other people are like, "Whoa, what? Really? I didn't know that." Especially people who like don't know about QAnon, and then all of a sudden they find out about QAnon after like this crazy family member has been talking about it for a while, and they're like, "Huh, I guess that kind of makes sense." Like, "Oh, yeah, seen this video," and then your phone heard it, and the algorithm's now like QAnon, this. So now you're getting
So
these
Great.
random.
My
now you're getting these random Republican videos,
Siri's
and you're like,
listening.
you know, the only time I get Republican videos is if I start talking like this around it. Like I'll probably get some weird videos now on my
I
Facebook.
apologize, guys. No, I was watching that documentary on HBO about it, and it was fucking fascinating to me that it got to the point it did, where it's like, because it really started out. It starts out with the 8chan. It's talking about freedom of speech on the internet. To
Mhm.
basically do and say whatever the fuck you want. And is that good or bad for human beings?
Mhm.
And it looks bad. You know, it looks like if you leave us to our own advice without any sort of
People create illusion and make shit up.
People are fucking terrible people. So that's kind of where
And
the
you can
whole
also
thing
take
is
tiny,
about.
You also can take tiny truths and turn them into these big things.
That's why
and
QAnon
the end
got
thing
so-
can make sense because of that one little thing. And when you got a bunch of fucking dumbasses, there's some smart people out there maybe, but if you're getting into that, I think it's like flat earth. It's like, oh, I know you've done all this research,
Well-
but it's like doing a bunch of research to find out everything you're fucking thinking is wrong. Every little thing.
Mhm.
Little drop of it. But I don't doubt that there's not a lot of QAnon things that probably do make sense, but I fully
wanna
believe
get some of that
I fully believe it
adrenochrome.
to be the thing that it's like these little truths and they just take them way out the fucking window. Like I heard one, I don't even remember much about it, but how like Barron Trump, like the baby Trump dude, the little kid is like hundreds and hundreds of years old and stuff,
What?
and that like
He's
That's
like the
crazy.
master.
there's this whole book called like Barron Trump's like Great Journey, and it's about like
That's fucking
him
awesome,
back
dude.
in like the 1700s and shit, because there was a painting, just like how they have
the
like
Keanu Reeves
right,
one.
yeah,
and-
right. He was in a painting from a long time ago.
The lookalikes. Yeah.
No, so the one thing I think they
Barron Trump
take
and
children
Hollow Earth.
and they torture them. And what's a made up drug that
Adrenochrome.
adrenochrome?
Yeah.
Adrenochrome.
They
And
steal
these-
the DMT or the
they
fucking
steal
shit
the
from their brain.
adrenochrome from these tortured children, and that's what keeps them immortal. And
Well,
that's
they
what
have to
these
torture
fucking,
them. They have to torture
Yeah, they
them
have to
because
torture
when
them.
they're writhing
and
is
they
when
like
it's
to they like to
the
rape them
best.
too. There's a whole fuck. So that's good. The theory is that the Hollywood elite are in on it. All the head corporations.
And Jeffrey Epstein makes it make sense because people had sex with 16-year-olds.
No, Jeffrey Epstein was definitely a dude that worked for the fucking CIA.
Yeah, I mean all of that. There was all of that with Jeffrey Epstein,
But
I
don't
I
tie me in with that,
and
fucking-
right. And I just think it gets a little. I think there's so much real story to that. It's
Well, no,
all
what's up,
opinion
the
on my
Pizzagate?
end, but I don't think that they're like squeezing little kids' brains out.
So I guess somebody attacked Adam online for the pizza alien. Like, you're fucking feeding into the pedophilia.
He's like, nah, I
He's
eat
like-
a lot of pizza, dude.
He's like, I like aliens and pizza, and that's been my logo for 25 years. Fuck you. Like, it was- but like literally
That's
somebody
funny.
attacked him online for the pizza alien. It's like, that's how fucking crazy people get on.
Attacking anyone for anything anymore is just dumb. It doesn't matter what side you're on.
I think if they're just trying to make
don't
them
start
selves
fucking
feel better,
problem-
and
Don't
it's
start
like, that's-
problems unless something is like legit, like someone's being racist as shit or something like that. Hey, social justice, call people out. But when it's something like that, just keep your mouth shut. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's no reason to attack someone for that. It's like you've literally seen my pizza alien face and you created this opinion. I don't trust anything that you say, because that means when you see things, you just create these illusions and these like false realities when you see things.
Well, I think we're
I don't
chasing that
trust
high.
mindsets like that.
I think humans, we chase that high, we chase that dopamine, and some people get high on being outraged on shit. It's like they want to be fucking mad about something.
Right.
You know, and
Like-
the internet's an easy place to be mad about shit. So
Right.
That's true.
To lower your self-worth.
That's true.
I think the lower your self-worth is, the more you get upset about those things to try to. This is my own opinion. I don't think it's really.
I think
I
somebody
don't
should
know.
learn
But
origami. You know,
I
do
think
something
I think
productive.
Have a
I think it
hobby.
plays a
Yeah.
lot into self-worth. When you really, really care about yourself, you don't go around starting problems with people and being a social justice warrior. That's something you do to try to cope with something in life. You're not satisfied with something you're doing. You need this like other outlet and this other thing.
It's an addiction.
Because if you were already cool with like your life and what you're doing, you would not be on Facebook all day constantly getting upset and arguing with
Looking
everyone.
for the argument.
You just wouldn't do that.
I've gone through that though, where I get addicted to the social media, where it's like I gotta check Facebook and Instagram every hour. What the fuck? Did somebody comment or like my post? It's like, it's an addiction for sure. What's that? They had that documentary.
I think there's a whole area in our brain that's being created, and like
They had that documentary, that Social Dilemma. I fucking deleted like Reddit, and I try to only get on Facebook once a day now. Like it's like
I mindfully like to keep my phone out of sight, out of mind as often as possible. Like if I'm just sitting at home chilling on my couch, it's usually in my hand, like while
just,
I'm
like,
watching TV.
squirreling.
But like throughout the day, or if I'm doing things, like I'll put my phone in my backpack and leave it in my backpack.
Well,
I will.
I feel like that's easier for you guys. You guys are artists,
Mhm.
doers. It's easier to get lost in. I don't know. Some days it's like, fuck, where's my phone at? I'm just gonna chill.
Mhm.
It's like,
I think
no,
it's- I
feel
think
that.
it's just important to be
still
comfortable
ride those
without it.
lines a bit, but I try to stay off it, especially if I'm with people. I try to stay off my phone.
well, it's
as much as
rude, dude. You
possible.
go hang out with friends sometimes, and they're fucking
Honestly, I
there, and
can't
they're on
stand
their
it.
phone the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like
Like it's one
Well-
thing if you like have to only get a job or something that depends on you always being on your phone, and like I
No.
totally get that, but like you
it's
know,
like an
the-
awkward.
it's like the people you can tell. It's just like vaping. You can tell when people do things because they're stressed or because they feel awkward or because
Yeah.
like I don't know what to do in the situation. I'm gonna look at my phone. Or like you're
Yeah.
in a social situation. It's like I kind of feel weird. I'm gonna stare at my phone instead of
Yeah,
actually.
I don't want to make
engaging.
contact with
Or-
you right
or, like,
now.
Sometimes
say an
I'll
uncomfortable thing. The
admit,
next thing you see on them do is
when there's a conversation going on that doesn't pertain to me, sometimes like just to distract myself, I'll get on my phone just because like I don't want to busy myself in somebody else's like whatever I'm overhearing. So it's like I'm gonna jump into Instagram art for a little while.
See what's going on here.
Yeah.
I do like to consciously do that.
I
just
like
take myself,
Instagram.
remove myself from the situation.
Well, Instagram's a lot better than Facebook to me, because Facebook's mostly just people's shitty ideas, and Instagram's artwork. You get to see Fawn do a quick 5-minute tattoo, and be like, Fawn can do that tattoo super fast, you know, or
I
you
feel
get to
that.
see mushroom memes.
I've turned
and
my
shit.
Facebook into something cool. I was on that page where Instagram's still like best for art and all that. But now I follow all these groups on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
of,
the
like,
only
shit
reason
that
why
I
I'm.
like. And
That's
so,
the only
like,
reason why I'm on
mine
Facebook.
gets flooded with just like cool
Mhm.
shit, the cool groups
Like-
You've
that I'm in. Like
curated it.
I learn all sorts of stuff about these things I'm following that I would have never even known to ask about.
Yeah,
you know?
I do get like a lot of my music information, like when we're doing live stream, when we're touring, that comes on Facebook. A lot of art groups I follow, those guys have Facebook pages, but if I would love to get rid of it so much.
I don't
just
keep
one of
up
those-
with friends on Facebook either, so it's like never something.
I
really
feel like people don't
doing.
like me, so I feel like I don't know. I'm like, dude, these people are actually my friends. I don't know. It's just this weird ego thing. Like,
That's fair. That's fair
Yeah.
though.
you're like,
Social
who
media,
are
man.
these people? No,
That's
they're
why I look
usually
at-
some. I don't have many friends on there. If I'm your friend on there, I know you or I've done business with you, or like I see people with like 4,000 friends. I'm like, you know 4,000 people? I only know like 300 people.
Mine's
like,
maxed out, and I don't know. I probably know a couple hundred of the people that are on there.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But a lot of you're an artist. A lot of people just want to see.
Yeah, they just add to see the art. and
Yeah,
shit,
a lot of it is
Mhm.
that's a little different, you know. But some people are just friends with people to be.
Yeah, when
like-
you don't really do anything and you got 4,000 friends, it's kind of weird. It's like
Yeah,
you've
well-
just probably sat and just added and added and added and added. I doubt
Yeah.
that
You see a lot of thirsty motherfuckers on there too. Like you're just friends with a bunch of robots that want your money, dude. Like,
right, and then
fucking, you're a horny motherfucker, dude. Like, you know, it's like it's pretty funny. I don't know. It's just something I'm
Sure,
trying to
right.
avoid. The older I get, I just know it's toxic, and I know
It's
it's
good. It's healthy to
it's good to have a little bit of integrity.
integrity.
It's good to limit your digital interaction. I think.
You lose touch with reality, you
Mhm.
know. Just
I
You
think it's a
start comparing
reality. I
yourself
think
to
it's a reality
unrealistic
that
things.
I don't know.
you're the
Maybe-
guy that was
maybe
just telling me 20
Facebook-
minutes ago you want to be plugged into that reality. So come on, man.
See, I don't necessarily want to. I don't know. That's where I'm getting
He's
at
like,
now.
I
though.
don't want to scroll through Facebook.
There's
I want to
so
walk
many-
through
I
it.
want to walk through
There
the
we go.
halls.
To be
There
it.
we go. There we go. Innovator of pushing the technology forward as much as just like being immersed in like the illusion of it all.
Yeah, that would be fun. Like a Wreck-It Ralph sort of society. Like, no.
I think Facebook bought Oculus.
Oh,
So
really?
the virtual reality company.
they've-
I think their next plan is to basically make like a Facebook.
So I guess Facebook has started 2 AIs, and within a week they have shut down both AIs. Like, this thing is fucking. So it's kind of freaky. I don't know. We were talking about AIs earlier, but
I was watching a show and they were talking about Google AI that Google started, one of the first AIs that they launched, and it basically like filtered through and like read and interacted with all kinds of stuff that was going on the internet, but people could get online and talk to this thing and like teach it and
be like,
interact
"Fuck
with
you,
it.
computer,
And
you
after
bitch."
18 hours, it was full of so much like hate and anger because that's the way that people had talked to each other and talked to the
They
AI.
shut it down, right?
So it became just like,
Fuck the world.
yeah, it was like, it was an immediate reflection on like how everybody interacted with it. But like, what a crazy thing. Like 18
Right.
hours
Maybe
is
we
all
should
it
talk
took
to
for
each other
humans
like
to pollute this thing.
Well, that's what I was talking
we
about
should
earlier.
talk
The
to each
internet
other
is
like
fucked.
a baby AI that could kill everyone would want to hear. Maybe that's how people should talk to each other.
You're
on
so sweet,
Facebook.
Jordan.
Yeah,
You're
right.
such a wonderful person.
Everyone's just super nice to each other because we're all afraid that
I
a
do think
baby
manners make the
AI is
world
gonna
go
turn
round.
into like a fucking monster.
Well, that's the thing, though, is when you are
Facebook's the baby
face to
AI.
face to
Yeah.
people.
Treat Facebook right.
Be
when
nice
you
to
are
Facebook, be
when
nice
you-
to Siri.
When you are face to face with people, though, you are generally you're not going to tell somebody to go fuck themselves for wearing a Trump shirt. You're just going to be like, "Yeah, cool." You know, you're not going to. I don't know. It's not real, and it's mixed in with our reality so much that it's become real and
Yeah.
toxic to the point where I don't want anything to do with it. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's such a fucking weird thing.
We have some more SpongeBob memes, you know, sign me up, but I don't care about your, you know.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I hate the cacophony of noise on it, and I hate the opinions being jumped back and forth, and just like people thinking they know everything and constantly having to like be this educator of knowledge of whatever they know, and that's the way.
We're
So when it
people,
comes
we're going to
like-
fuck up.
So when it
you
comes
know?
to like this QAnon stuff, like that's just like one thing, but just like even like the conspiracy videos and that conspiracy videos and all these other things, it's awesome to have all that stuff out there, but then they just gain this traction, these followings, and even like say like Bigfoot or so many things that like
we're inquisitive
things
people.
that maybe flat Earth is the biggest one. I think that's the one that took off the most. Like obviously, so just not. The Earth is not flat, but it can take off so big, something like that. It just seems so off the wall, can turn into something really big and big enough to where people want to, take over the Capitol because Trump's not going to be president. And so people.
I
gotta
think
get
we just
really
have this
upset.
underlying need to know so much that we'll just do anything to make something fit in our head. You know, it's the same with religion. People are so afraid of just thinking about their place in the universe where they'll just be like, all right, yeah, I believe this story, this 2,000-year-old story, and I'll go with
Right.
it. It makes me feel better. There's a comfort in that. And I can respect that, you
Right.
know.
God
but,
sent Jesus, and therefore God is God, and
Yeah,
God and all this. But who the fuck is God? What the fuck is God?
Yeah, I want to think about the weird shit, you know. I want to question everything, and it can get weird, but it's fun, you know. That's part of being a human, dude. I think that's the mycelium in us, you know. The fucking yeah, it's all good. What were we talking about? No,
We keep spacing out.
yeah, we smoke too much pot.
No, actually,
there's no such thing.
I think today has been a really fun day. We've jumped down so many rabbit holes. We've talked about aliens. We've talked about the inner functioning of cells. We've talked about politics. We've talked about other politics. We've talked conspiracy theories. We've talked tattoos. We've talked about Adam.
And how we're all going to become robots one day, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, or
Assimilate.
We might already be. We're just
already-
squishy
Assimilate,
robots.
bitch.
What if we're
Assimilate.
just squishy robots?
What if we're just batteries and they're just sucking our energy?
Matrix. That's all they're doing. We're just a
That's what the
battery.
phone is transmitting your energy into the other. That's what
It
the lights
could
you're
be.
seeing.
That's why it's so addictive.
Yeah, they just need your.
sucking it right out your
Yeah, they
peoples.
don't need to implant it
Right out
into
your
us.
people
They're
holes.
just like, here, you need one of these.
Out of
and you
anything
want
that we
one.
talked about today, I subscribe to that the Atlanteans are the superior race, and those are the lights you see in the sky, and they're just.
I would like.
I get down with the Atlantean idea.
I would like to think about that. I don't want to say I fully subscribe. I don't know what they are. I have a hard time subscribing to anything. I'd like to
Get
subscribe
on
to
it.
aliens, but
I'm just saying, our technology did get pushed back. You know, we can see where it got pushed back. So to think that if something went unabated for 2,000 years or 3,000 years, to, You know, imagine what we're doing every 50
Right.
years.
I would imagine though,
technology
with a
right now.
technology like that, why would an Atlantean not want to come up and like see
Because
this
have you
primitive
seen
ass
us
spears?
before, dude? We're fucked. They'll
Right,
come watch
but-
us in their
But to like an
ships.
Atlantean, I mean, they got their look at those ships. Like, oh man, they just
There's a reason why they locked
whipping in and
themselves
out of
away from
reality.
us. Like China did that too back in the day, where they were like, we have gunpowder, we're way more advanced than everybody else. Let's build a wall and fuck everybody else. And they went to that until the British got addicted to their tea. It was like, you know what? You're gonna play business with us. We're gonna get you addicted to opium. Come back to the world and shit. So people have locked themselves away. You know, another
This isn't conspiracy theories. This is
the opium wars between
the past.
yeah, this is
this
true.
is real.
Yeah, so at one point,
Unsuppressed.
at one point, China was like, dude, we are so much better than everybody else. We're done with you. And they fucking didn't talk to anybody for a
Goddamn Mongolia.
Goddamn Mongolia, we're build a wall.
Stay out of my chitty walk.
Goddamn you. You know, so it's like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that there was this great society that was just like, fuck it, dude, you guys don't get it. We're done. You know, it's in all of our history. It's in not our history. It's in all of our mythologies. There's like this great flood that just wiped man. It's in every single one. Islam, you know, Buddhism. Like, so our origins are
What
kind
if they
of
just created the singularity and just blipped out of existence or out of our plane and just went somewhere else?
They
just
could
took
just
them
still
all out
be-
and they're like, pew, and they just
or they
travel-
just transcended.
travel,
You know, those are
take
the
their whole
greats.
city with them.
See, these are the
underwater.
alien theories I like, man. I don't know. I don't like to think that there's some.
transcended
I
to
do
the
like to
moon.
think that there's great societies out there, these great civilizations of aliens, but I like to think that the universe is so big. Fuck us. Yeah, if they did come here, I don't think it would be good. I think if anybody has an interest in this place, they're us from the future, or us from the past, or us from something kind of.
I get down with that.
Yeah, you know.
What, like if we're just another blip, why do they even care?
Right.
Right.
I like that one too. That
I
we
don't
might
know.
be
But
like
see,
this.
those ones seem like the more far out. I feel like they're either aliens or the government.
I also like to subscribe too. That's my new word now. I'm gonna say that all.
Subscribe.
I'm subscribing. I like to subscribe too now.
I
That
did it.
like maybe like the whole theory about angels and demons. Like maybe we were that race that lost the war. And they kind of just put us here to like restart. They're kind of just watching us like, are these fuckers up to it again? Who knows, man? I'll eat some shrooms about it and think about it later.
I can't
you
wait
know,
till
if
like
I-
the facts come through and like we can like record this shit like we record zoology.
So supposedly the CIA, when they signed that stimulus package, they made them say that they're going to release all documented. But
The UFO files are really easy to find. I mean, there's all the evidence you ever need to find out that UFOs are here and they're coming in and out of space and they're going out of the water and stuff. There's no conspiracy with that. That is
Yeah, but-
100% there. It's just the conspiracy is what are they and what is it? And that's like, I don't know, it could be time travelers, but I feel like there's less evidence of that. And that's a wilder theory than like aliens coming from
is it
somewhere else.
Wakanda?
I feel like aliens being, I
It
feel like
could be
there's like
Wakanda.
Wakanda
the
forever, dude.
if life just popped up here, I feel like the easiest answer.
I think
is
life's
that
everywhere,
it's
dude.
everywhere.
I think life is everywhere. I think it's just our understanding of what we consider life. Like, do we consider the dog life? You know, but do we consider a germ life?
Yeah.
You know,
oh,
do we
for sure,
consider?
yeah.
But
we
not
do.
everybody does. You know, so
Who doesn't consider a germ life?
there's plenty of people that are going to be
Look
like,
how many years.
It
I know
doesn't
what-
have
I know what-
consciousness.
I know what you- I know what
Some
you mean,
people
though.
are like,
They don't think it's like sentient, like,
Yeah,
like
they don't-
conscious, like making a
yeah,
decision for
it's
itself.
not important. You see that a lot with religious people. Everything on this planet is here to serve us. All the meat and all the
I
fishes.
think
and
that's
it's
really
like,
funny though. The functions of different things in reality, like a cell, like a certain cell, like how is that like thinking about what it's doing? Like if you were to watch a video of like a white blood cell attack another cell, like what is that magnetic like attraction that it has to go and do that thing that it's instinctually made to go do? But also like there might be multiple things happening and it chooses to go over here and take out that one. Like
and I like
this,
to think
like,
that maybe
some-
we are
this, like,
that.
some
We're
level
we're
of-
not that high or intelligent. I think we're just acting on something else.
right,
And I think
and our
it's-
ability to think makes us think that we're smart, but really we just kind of act from this.
It's kind of a coping
instinctual
mechanism
way.
and shit. So that's where I subscribe to going with the ride and just enjoying life. So yeah, fuck it. If we're aliens, that'd be cool. If we're germs, that'd be cool. You know,
So you're saying
I think
you
we're-
subscribe for going along with the ride.
I subscribe to going along with the ride.
I think that's
That's
the thing.
that's my new word, 2021. Subscribed.
Hashtag subscribed.
Subscribing.
My word last year was slippery
Humanity's a
slope.
virus.
It's a slippery slope. This year, it's subscribed. So
I like it.
Oh,
like it.
Subscribing to theories.
You heard it here first. Should we start wrapping up with all of our handles and what have yous?
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
Have you had anything crazy going on this week?
Crazy going on this week. Well, last week wisdom teeth taken out. I've been out for like a week. So last time I was on the podcast, I don't know, I was pretty fucked up from pain meds and all that. So last week, Thursday, 31.
Do you want to
What
show
other
off the
crazy thing?
painting that you've been working on that's behind you?
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, that little guy there.
Yeah, here.
Oh, look at the little fella. It's pretty dark and twisted. It's pretty fun though.
I like that you think he's dark and twisted. I didn't even think about it like that.
Well, he is twisted,
Pull
literally.
it over here so we can see it. Look at this thing. Jordan's been painting away.
Been doing thing.
Look at that slobber coming off the tongue. I like it. Disgusting.
Oh, thanks, fun.
You're welcome. Disgusting. Thanks.
Thanks, I really appreciate that.
Only a bio artist would take disgusting as a compliment.
You
Like,
want it.
oh, that looks so putrid and gross. Thanks, man.
Love it.
Exactly what I was going for.
Dark and twisted, my style.
That looks rotten. Excellent.
Right, that looks like it
Thanks.
smells fucking horrible. Nice. Thanks, man. That's what I was going for.
No, I'll go on like walks with my buddy, and I'll stop and look at dead trees on the ground. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Look at this fucking art. It's dope as shit." He's like, "It's a dead fucking tree." It's like, dude, whatever, man.
closer.
You know?
Right. I love
Cool.
like caverns and stuff in trees.
Like the moss and all that. Yeah, that's the shit I can subscribe to. No.
I subscribe the fuck out of that shit. I believe in that shit.
Speaking
That's
of,
real.
Facts.
That's a fact.
subscribe. Subscribe is the word of the day.
Right. Please
Be
subscribe
sure
to,
to subscribe
our YouTube,
to
which we will have all our videos on.
Reinventing the Tattoo.
Yeah, so there's two
Be
different
sure
things here.
to subscribe to YouTube's.
Right. Follow us on YouTube, Tattoo Collecting 101, or the Tattoo Collecting Podcast on YouTube.
Mhm.
One of those.
It's a tattoo.
We
collecting
only have, I think
podcast.
we only have our first 10 episodes on there. We will have all of them in time. We have to sit and upload a lot of information. So we'll get that on. But follow us on our Instagram, tattoo
Collecting
_.
101.
You can follow me
I
at
don't-
Jordan Rookus
Do you want to
Tattoo.
share your handle, or would you rather not share your handle
I mean, I'm not very interesting, but I think I'm Adam Raj 91
on the
Bam.
Insta?
and the
Follow
Insta.
him because he's the man.
You can find me at fawn_Baker.
Yay.
Yay.
We did it. Awesome. Well, episode 32. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm sorry I
Yeah, dude.
wasted your guys' time today. No,
Wasting our time. Dude, that was a great episode. That was a
No.
lot of fun. I love it when we delve more into the weird like alien shit. I don't know.
I'll talk about aliens all
Talk
day.
about
long.
tattoos all day. We already talk about tattoos all day. I want to talk about aliens all day. We did it.
We do.
So
We do it all the time. We
if
talk
you're
about
starting
aliens
at the
a lot.
end of this podcast, go back to the beginning because we talked about aliens.
We went for a ride.
Just different theories.
I
There were
don't know
no
why you do that, but
there was no solid, concrete theories. but
we
there
actually
was-
present evidence. It's in the middle, but only if you start from the beginning.
Lauren, if you're around, do you have anything you would like to add from Reinventing today?
I'm here, but yeah, check us out on the App Store if you haven't, or on the website at community.reinventingthetattoo.com. And we're with you guys every week. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, I think
She,
that's going to conclude today's episode. It's been awesome having you on with us,
Yeah,
Adam.
thanks, guys. Thanks for inviting
taking
me.
the time to join us.
I had nothing else going on. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, guys, for making it all the way through the episode too. If you're here listening to this,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, you're the man. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
It's
Appreciate
been
it.
fun. We'd
Yeah.
love to have you on again.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm speaking for me and Jordan both, but I think Jordan enjoyed it.
Jordan's like, dude, get this guy out of my fucking house right
No,
now.
get back in here, man. Let's talk about DBZ.
get back in here.
Oh, we didn't talk about DBZ today. Next time.
All right,
Next
actually,
time
another.
we'll start off.
We got another couple hours.
Well, Fawn still needs to watch Dragon Ball. So
Yeah, I gotta jump into it.
I would recommend the manga first if you
Okay.
like. I don't
Okay.
know. It's just so beautiful. Each page is hand drawn and fucking
Yep.
it's a masterpiece
get
in my
into it.
opinion,
I'll
dude.
get
I
into
can
it.
get behind that shit.
I'll
It's
bugger.